but a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high quality native calves, light yearlings, bred cows. We expect to sell 700 head. Breaking down like this: 100, 125 weigh cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs of bred cows, 450, 500 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 10 to 15 cow-calf pairs, mostly black white face Angus cross cows with black calves at their side. Pairs 3 to 8 years old. 15 bred cows, Mr. Ruby Gabaldon at Pinon, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred cows, bred to Angus bulls. Nice set of cows, 3 to 7 years old. 21 bred cows, Cooper Brothers, Mayhill, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face red Angus crossbred cows, bred to Angus. Cows 9 to 10 years old. 15 bred cows, Jimmy Sterling at Magdalena, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face Angus cross cows, bred to Angus bulls. 8 to 10 years old. 93 calves, Lucero and Lucero, Bosque Farms, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus calves, shots at Brandon, 375, 575 pounds. 61 calves, Hudson Cattle Company, Deming, New Mexico. Excellent quality Charolais crossbred calves, cattle wean 35 days, Bovinshield Gold, 7-way, 400, 575 pounds. 47 calves, LS Cattle Company, Corona, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus and Charolais crossbred calves, Bovinshield Gold 7-way, 350, 450 pounds. 85 calves, Braham Hindi and Sons, Duran, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus calves, Cattle Master 5 7-way at Brandon, 400, 600 pounds. 18 steer calves, JSY Cattle Company, Weed, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, Bovinshield Gold 8-way at Brandon, 450, 550 pounds. 20 calves, Mr. Chase Brown, Carlsbad. Excellent quality black and red Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 350, 450 pounds. And 25 calves, Mr. Alan Swenson, Mentone, Texas. Good quality Charolais crossbred calves, 350, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows, 9:30, 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:30. Pretty light run, so don't be late. We expect to sell 700 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hobbs Trailers has moved from the Lovington Highway to the Carlsbad Highway with a huge selection of trailers. Full service DOT and rental, including enclosed, gooseneck, tilt, BOP, lowboys, pulley pipe, horse, stock, roll-off, dump, ATV, welding, billy dump, and frac tank. From 3,500 pounds to 100 tons, Hobbs Trailers has it all, offering all parts and repair, any axle, any size, oil field, BOPs, accumulators, and all stations. Hobbs Trailers. Call 575-631-8789 for 24-hour service, or visit Hobbs Trailers, now at 4710 West Carlsbad Highway. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5. For 24-hour service, call 575-631-8789.
There's been talk in the news that it's hard to get credit these days. Not here. Just like always, we're making auto loans. We offer competitive rates and quick service. We make our loan decisions locally, so you don't have to wait for out-of-town approval on your loan. Make this strong move. Get your auto loan from us. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Family of Excellence at Lucky Services, Lucky Rental Tool, Lucky Health and Safety, and TRM Trucking encourage you to vote. If you can't make it to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, vote early, but be sure to vote. This year's election will be one of the closest and most consequential in our nation's history, so every vote matters. Thank you for voting and praying for our country and its leaders from the Lucky Family of Excellence. And God bless America.
At Caveman Spray Foam Insulation, they can help you with all your insulation needs. Whether it be a new build or remodel or that old metal shop, they've got you covered. Certified and with over 12 years combined experience, there is nothing that can't be insulated. With free quotes available and serving all of Eddy, Lee, and Chavez counties in New Mexico, with a service available in West Texas, call the pros today at Caveman Spray Foam Insulation, 575-361-2228. If it can be sprayed, we'll spray it.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Hi, good morning. The forecast for southeast New Mexico is temperatures down to 285 in Roswell at 81 degrees. Carlsbad, Artesia at 85, and Lovington at 84 degrees, clear sky and plentiful sunshine. Tomorrow, temperatures will reach about 83 degrees in Roswell. The heat goes on in Carlsbad Artesia at 88 degrees and 87 degrees in our studios in Lovington. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Alberts.
Your country plays on W105.
You guys ready?
Be in the Breakfast Club, broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105. Powered by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer.
And I want to make sure I get the quote exactly right.
You seem particularly triggered right now.
Good morning, everyone.
Guess you don't know what today is.
No, please, tell me. Please, tell me.
It's National Nut Day.
I used to be able to name every nut that there was.
This is nuts.
Peanut.
This is nuts.
Hazelnut.
Wait, I'm nuts?
Cashew nut. Macadamia nut. Pine nut.
But I'm not nuts.
Pistachio nut.
Let's not go nuts. You guys, you know what? You're nuts. You're all nuts.
Are we ready for the nuts?
Yeah,
Ready. It's showtime.
It is another day in paradise. We're not doing the nut question today because that was too obvious. If you hosted your own podcast, who would be your first guest? Tom, if you had your own podcast and could invite anybody on, who would it be?
Me.
You would already be on the podcast, Tom. It's your podcast.
That's what I'm saying, me. Why have a guest when it can be you?
Because you're that engaging, right?
Yes.
I'll go next. Okay. I would invite, if it's anybody, I'm inviting Joe Rogan.
That's who I was going to say.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say.
So me and Blake, Monica, if you could invite anybody, who would it be?
It would have to be Mr. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump. Nothing gets the attention like...
I know it'd be Marlena. That would be my guess.
You would probably not even be able to interview her. You'd probably just
Is she still
stare at
alive?
her.
Yeah.
The chick
so
from General Hospital?
The chick from General Hospital?
Days of My Lives, by the way.
Oh.
Days of My Lives.
Days of My... Oh, I'm sorry, mister. I sleep all day.
No, it's not.
It's
These are the days of our lives. It's Days of Our Lives, not Days of My Lives.
I have Marlena on it.
Today is Clean Up Earth Day, Eat a Pretzel Day, International Stuttering Awareness Day. My brother was a stutterer, and they said he would outgrow it, and eventually he outgrew it.
Nice.
Wow.
I had a cousin that stuttered. He still stutters, and he thinks he's a gangster.
Gangster?
Yeah.
I was put a cap in your butt.
Now, B,
brother? If you're listening, you know who I'm talking about.
Now, B, Mel, tell us, was that an act? Or did he really stutter?
No, that was really.
Oh, he was a stutterer.
Yeah,
he was a stutterer.
But he could sing.
National Color Day, National Knee Day, National Make a Dog's Day. So give it a steak.
Dolly, where you at?
Yeah. National Nut Day.
Tom.
Sparkling Water Day. Not down with it. And Wombat Day.
Wombat.
They're so cute.
What is a wombat?
It's
the weasel.
No.
They're like bats.
No. It's an
rat.
It's an Australian animal. It's about the size of a raccoon.
It was a rodent.
No, it's not a rodent.
A wombat.
Okay, black them.
Aren't they cute?
They're so cute. They kind of look like hedgehogs or something like that, like miniature koalas.
Well, yeah, sort of.
They're just adorable.
They're about, like I said, about the size of a raccoon. Picture like a chipmunk kind of thing. You know, that's
but like super chunky, super cute.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Yeah, they're cute until they bite you.
And
yeah, they can be really mean.
Are they only
and then they're not cute.
In
they're Australia. Yeah.
Okay.
They're related to the Tasmanian devil, which is only, in Tasmania.
All right, the tweet of the day. Let's get updated with the weather being brought to you by State Representative Randall Pettigrew, reminding you that the governor continues to encourage that the legislature take away your gun rights. Randy's not going to let that happen, continuing to stand up to the governor and the liberals. If you just moved into the area and you're in District 61, you've got a great representative standing up for the values of conservatives. If you need more information, go to randallpettigrew.com. Randy encouraging you to register and get out and vote.
Yes, sir.
randallpettigrew.com. By the way, message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. Weather, we're in mid-October. Weather still remains in the 80s, 86 today. Sunny skies, clear tonight, down to about 55. 86 coming up for your Wednesday. Thursday, warming up to 88. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by La Tienda in Carlsbad. Big savings going on right now from the meat department. Boneless beef chuck top round roast, $3.99 a pound. And Boston bucked pork roast, $1.49 a pound. And fryer leg quarters, these are sold in that 10-pound bag for 69 cents a pound. Fancy corn, 2 for $1. Also get yellow onions, 2 pounds for $1, and get the multi-meal cereal. That's a 36-ounce bag, 2 for $10, and the iced tea, sweet and unsweet tea, 2 gallons for $4. Don't forget, today is Taco Tuesday going on at La Tienda, where you get the USDA prime ribeye steaks. There are tacos. Taco Tuesday going on today, and Fajita Friday coming up on Friday. Take advantage of that at La Tienda. Text line 877-396-W105. If you could be on a podcast, who would be your first guest, if it could be anybody? By the way, Donald Trump's visit to McDonald's in a key Pennsylvania county where he cooked up fries, served the customers. McDonald's has kind of come out and said, look, there for everybody, because evidently they got some pushback from the left.
Whatever.
Why is it that people on the left, oh, you did that for someone on the right. How dare you do that?
Right.
But if Kamala would have gone there, they would have been just
reportedly, is said that has not confirmed that Kamala actually worked at McDonald's. And maybe it was Burger King.
It seems like that would be really simple to find out.
But you have to remember she grew up in Canada.
Well, but can't you call where she worked?
I'm sure they can
Example. My first fast food restaurant when I was back in high school, I worked at Whataburger. I can tell you exactly which one it is.
Well, you would think that she would be able to say, look, if you don't believe me, you can go down to whatever location it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Somebody would remember her, right?
Well, no, they have.
And that's the other thing. Nobody has come out and said, yes, I work with Kamala at McDonald's. Don't you think there would be one person that would come out and say that?
I would.
You would think.
And famous.
And you would, I mean, they're only required to hold on to records for so long.
Right.
But you would think that they would still have them somewhere.
Yeah.
You would think, as famous as she is now, she's running for president of the United States, somebody would come out and say, yes, we work together.
And I don't know that, like, for her to use, oh, I worked at McDonald's, like all these things that are like normal to us are like a flex to her. And I just, it's
blows your mind, doesn't it?
It does. It's honestly like people like, come on now. Like, it's not a big deal. If she worked at McDonald's.
She grew up in a middle-class family, though.
With a big old house.
She sure did, and she can't be unburdened by the things that have been.
She wants to unburden
looks like a new survey is overwhelming the majority of teens and young adults worry about climate change. As an adult, we don't worry about climate change as much. We worry about paying the bills.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just paying the bills is enough.
Well, what that's an indication of is how far indoctrination has gotten with the children.
No doubt.
Because that's a big agenda item. Everything, almost everything stems off of that.
Right.
And so
new
it's
lawsuit
a key
claiming Sean P. Diddy, Puffy Combs, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl. So that lawsuit is out there. There's also a lawsuit that he also raped a young boy. Hopefully this guy does not get out of prison ever.
You know,
Wow.
I was listening to something this morning. I believe it was reported through ABC News, and they found what they are calling pink cocaine on the guy from One Direction that died, the Liam guy.
Yep.
So they found it in his system, and then they said that that's also one of the drugs that P. Diddy had all of his staff have on hand with them at all times. And although it's called pink cocaine, it's actually not cocaine. It's like a mixture of like super downer / whatever.
And they released all the drugs that guy was on.
Right.
It was like a laundry list of medication. So I bet that pink cocaine is a combination of cocaine and probably fentanyl or something like that.
And they said it's growing in popularity because of the way it looks. It's like hot pink, and it tastes like strawberry. Yeah, very interesting.
Pink cocaine.
Da-na-na-na, da-na.
Oh my God. Iron Maiden's lead singer for the first 2 albums died. He was 66. Paul Di'Anno passed away.
Yeah,
Tom, name a song by Iron Maiden.
It goes Iron Maiden.
No, that you're thinking of Iron Man from Black Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
Run to the Hills.
The neighborhood.
No. Not remotely.
Fan that ran onto the field for the Jets-Steelers game on Sunday night with a pro-Trump sign was arrested quickly.
Of course he was.
Yes. So pink cocaine came from Colombia. It's been around since 2010.
Wow.
And is a mixture of psychotropic substances, and it's actually pink dye that goes into the cocaine. But what else is it mixed?
Chemicals.
Yes, Tom.
Thank
chemicals.
you for that, Mr. Begenius.
Well, it's not like marijuana, but it's chemical.
You're right. It is not like marijuana. You are correct.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Tom. By the way, it makes up about 1% of the illegal drug trade. So it contains, you ready for this?
Yep.
It contains cocaine, ketamine, MDMA, which is actually the date rape drug, cocaine, methamphetamine, caffeine, opioids, and some psychotropic substance.
Dang.
Wow.
Ketamine, is that what they use for horses?
How many times have we talked about ketamine on here?
Not many times.
A lot. A lot.
So
It is for horses.
this is like a cocktail of drugs that P. Diddy was making sure everybody had.
Well, MDMA is ecstasy.
Yeah, ecstasy,
And
not the
it
date.
can have a
drug.
combination
Ecstasy.
of meth too.
Right.
Golly.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
don't know that anybody's body could function doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
Well, I mean, think about that's the way John Belushi died when they would do an 8-ball, which was heroin and cocaine, and this takes that to a whole nother level. This is the uppers and the downers and crazy.
Are you sure it wasn't Gordon Lightfoot's girlfriend that killed him with that?
Well, it could have been. Looks like the flood in Roswell. The governor came down yesterday. She was taking pictures with people. And some liberal posted up, it was on KOB's website, that look at all those Republicans waiting to get that free money. To which I had to answer, since Southeast New Mexico pays the bills for the entire state, and these are taxpayers that have paid into this state for their entire life, would it be nice to get something back from the state finally in Southeast New Mexico?
Yeah, we're not getting that state money. Southeast New Mexico is getting some of their own money back.
So
and they're not really.
Governor,
it's not
the
real.
governor. Yeah, the governor put in $1 million.
That's it.
And that $1 million will pay for FEMA.
Yep.
And pay for the National Guard.
Yep.
That's where that money is going.
The State Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
Yeah.
The state FEMA.
State FEMA.
So really, it's the government paying the government.
Yes.
Wow.
And so that money will not go to the people directly, but the governor did sign the emergency declaration.
Yes.
That will get the ball rolling.
Right.
So the feds come in here and actually pony up some money. That story did make news. It actually made national news. The flood actually made national news. So the governor is signing signed the declaration yesterday, and I would think that she was on the phone with the Biden administration soon after that, saying these people need help. And there's a lot of people that did not have flood insurance in Roswell. It's in the desert, and unless they live close to the two rivers,
right,
it's going to be a rebuild. And there's a lot of people that rent those homes. And I'm wondering how many of those people that there were homes that were knocked off the pier and beams, gone. Are the owners of those homes going to invest back into rebuilding those homes?
They don't have no insurance.
So there could be a huge housing shortage in Roswell after this. We'll have the sheriff on. Tom, what time that's going to be?
A little bit after 8 a.m. this morning.
Little after 8. So they are encouraging you this morning still to be safe. There was a bomb threat this morning. Roswell emergency units were en route to a bomb threat at Target. Multiple units en route. That's pretty much all we had. That story was made news early this morning. So we'll see if we can find out more information. And all the schools are closed. All the schools are closed in Roswell. Roswell Independent School District, flooding update, no school. Grab-and-go breakfast and lunch at all the schools. But Dexter has decided that they are going to have school. And I did see several of the school board members that were very upset and said, look, the superintendent is not from this area.
That's right.
Doesn't know this area. And I saw James Salas, who is on the school board, said this is why people need to go to the school board meetings.
Yep.
So if you're upset with your kid having to go to school this morning in Dexter, then go to the school board meetings.
Well,
I don't know if I needed my kid to stay home if I wouldn't just keep him home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's going to happen. And a lot of people are, but it will still count as a day with the state, and they won't have to make up that
That's
day.
true, and I would probably make an appointment and go sit in the superintendent's office.
Well, my question is, can't the school board overrule the superintendent?
No, they hired him to
I
do
don't
the job.
think so. They hired him to do the job. They got to let him do the job.
They can get rid of a superintendent because he's their employee. But this is the problem, like you just pointed out, Kevin. This is the problem.
Nobody goes to school board meetings.
No one goes to these meetings on any of these board meetings. Doesn't matter if it's a city commission. It doesn't matter if it's a school board. You go in there and you have a few people, other officials from other departments. You'll have a reporter or two, and maybe
both
one or
of you
two other
guys,
people.
Yeah, both of you guys have covered school board meetings and city council meetings. It's not many people that go to those.
No,
the regular ones.
And we would hope that those places would be filled all the time.
Right, with community members and
Yes.
parents.
Yes.
No, I'm hoping some people are watching those online if they're online, but
that doesn't give the same effect.
Yeah, it doesn't get the same
Do they
approach.
stream the city council
They
meetings?
do.
Some of them.
Most of the time they do. Yeah.
But, you know, you will
All right,
get people that are going to
6:20
get like an award or something
Okay.
that will be there and then they leave right away.
Sure.
But then they're not there.
Washington Post came out with a poll yesterday. Majority of Americans in battleground states say they trust Donald Trump with the economy. More so. I've got the cuts from the barber shop. Donald Trump went into the barber shop, and let me tease this a little bit. So he goes into, it's pretty much a Latino barber shop. And it's not people that you can tell by the body language. They were a little, they weren't sure of Donald Trump.
Right. What?
by the time he left, I think they were MAGA supporters.
Yeah.
Amen.
I saw that.
And one guy talked about the American dream for his kids, and I'll play the cut in just a second. The other guy was owner of the barbershop and supposedly was a liberal, and talked about his electric bill going up from $2,100 to $15,000 a month.
A lot of haircuts, brother.
And listen to the way Donald Trump replies to that. So I'll get to that in a second. We also have the tweet of the day coming up in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Hobbs Airfield Speedway. They're coming to the end of the season. Give Jamal a call, 575-631-5099. Follow them. Dash Days. Limpy is back for the last race. If you need more information, follow them, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We talked about this yesterday. City Council, read the riot act to the Albuquerque police that shot the man that was in the patrol car. His parents were there. Protesters were there. That happened last night in Albuquerque. Matthew Solo, Garcia's mom, spoke at the meeting, calling the police that killed her son on Friday. He has every right to live like the rest of us, she said. And he wasn't a perfect, but he wasn't a perfect, but he was a human being, according to Bernadette Garcia. So the Albuquerque City Council not happy that they actually did not search this man before putting him in the car.
Well, that's kind of the whole key there. But the fact is he had a gun.
Yeah, he had a gun. He had a gun on him, and police struggled with him to get the gun away from him, even though he was handcuffed, and the gun went off and shot and killed him. Now, as I look at the parents, poor mijo mentality. Poor mijo mentality. My son had every right to live. He had a gun and was in a high crime area, and police. Why didn't he tell the police he had a gun when they put him in the car?
Right. That would have solved all of that. Because even if
he would have still been able to walk today.
Yeah.
By the way, wait for the Garcia family to get paid probably, I would say, $1 million. They'll settle this case out of court.
Tax dollars that will come from Southeast New Mexico.
Because the municipal league, they will not fight a case. They just pay it off. But there are many people, many conservatives like Luis Sanchez, city councilor, said this is totally unacceptable that you handcuff somebody without searching them.
Yep.
He said that is so. I'm not making excuses for the Albuquerque PD.
No. And Louis owns a gun shop.
Yeah, he owns a gun shop. Deadly shooting at a party in Ector County. Ector County Sheriff's Office is investigating that deadly shooting that took place on Monday. Ector County Sheriff's Department reporting that deputies responded to shots fired at a large party. That person had been shot at, taken to the hospital in a private car. That victim died of the injuries. They are still investigating this case. Our number 877-396-W105. Tweet of the day coming up next. We'll get to that. Morning show being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico. They've got you covered with siding, windows, doors, seamless gutters, metal buildings. If you're looking for a construction company that is awesome, they get the job done, and they do it right the first time. Call them, 575-391-1430. That website, Seminole Siding and Construction.com.
All right.
Okay.
I went home yesterday and told my wife that we had to go early vote because the Breakfast Club is shaming Lee County. You probably said it a bunch of times. I drove to the polls, and they also closed on Monday. And try again today. Says
I'm going to go get those numbers. I'll be right back.
Okay. And we're having a bunch of texts saying we're having trouble with our app. We're working on it. So that's all we can tell you on that right now.
Right. If the static is what you hear, just be patient with us.
Yeah.
We are working to get that.
So on the app or on the air?
On the
On
app.
the app.
On the app. But
On the app.
Blake is working on it.
So you can tune
And-
in.
Yeah. And to be fair, the meetings are held during working hours, says this one texter. That's a good way to pass something without opposition from citizens.
Yeah, most of the time the school board meetings are held at night. I do believe. I could be wrong on that. And if they are held during working hours, they shouldn't be held during
Right.
working hours. They should be
Nobody
held.
can get up to the meeting.
Yeah.
And extremely fog on Delaware, says Gary from the patch on Delaware Basin Road. People don't need to use your bright lights, and please be safe.
Let me
says
try
Gary.
that again. Extremely foggy on Delaware Basin Road. People, don't use your bright lights,
Yep.
and please be safe. Says Gary from the patch.
We'll talk to Mike Harrington coming up at during the 8 o'clock hour. He's the sheriff of Chaves County, and he was actually a victim of the flood.
He was.
He was actually trying to save somebody, and the flood water. He was actually had to be rescued himself, if I understand right. Right, Tom? He was on top of his vehicle.
Yes, he was.
And he posted that on Facebook.
Yeah. So the video posted on social media, the sheriff showed several vehicles stranded in the water up to the windows of his car.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a new truck. You're telling me about that yesterday. Because a lot of the vehicles that were stranded have that kind of damage. But the water got so high that it damaged that.
That's what
And
happens.
the problem with that is those vehicles will never be
the same.
And
once
so
they
you
get
will-
the water damage.
You will
not
have
good.
you will have to watch out for them on the used car market.
Yeah. Looks like one person. What's the name of the app that tracks the automobiles?
CarMax?
Fox.
No.
CarMax. I mean, that's where CarMax comes into play.
No, I think
Carfax.
Carfax. There you go.
Is it Carfax?
Carfax. There you go.
Carfax.
Yeah, fax.
One of those.
Carfax.
It was something with an X.
That's where that comes into play because it gives a description of every time that car has been in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a description of every time that car has been in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as easy. It's not as easy as it has been in the past. Technology is actually awesome. All right, let's get to the tweet of the day. When we come back, we'll talk about a plane crash at the Las Cruces Air and Space Expo. One person dead. I'll get to that in a second. Platinum Auto Service, proud to bring you the tweet of the day. They're in Carlsbad. They've got a selection of mechanics. They've got folks that are all ASE certified mechanics. They're skilled, they're experienced, they use quality auto parts, and they're there to serve you. They do everything like maintenance, all changes, and they can do your diagnostics, your AC service, tires, and accessories. So if you got issues with your car, give them a call this morning, 575-689-6900, or stop in 606 South Canal in Carlsbad. Platinum Auto Service, proud sponsor of the tweet of the day.
I grew up in small rural Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service.
I ain't lived around here for 30 years for nothing. These people around here know Archie Bunker. They're my people. I'm going to knock on every door and every window, and I'm going to say to them all, stick to your guns, folks.
Would you support or oppose a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran? You have 2 minutes.
Well, thank you. What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together.
You know something? If you liberals go on getting your way, we're all going to hear one big loud flush. That's the sound of the USA going down a toilet.
And look, I'm a hunter,
Can you handle a shotgun?
so I've become friends with school shooters.
That face.
Are you kidding me? Want to do me a favor? Scram.
By the way, whoever put that together, you did an awesome job. It is posted up at Be in the Breakfast Club if you want to go check it out. The facial expressions from Archie Bunker make the bit so much funnier, but God bless. God bless. Wow. That was awesome. All right, we're going to get to the story of one person dead from the air show in Las Cruces. A newcomer alert. Blake.
Illegal foreigner.
Oh, okay. Newcomer alert.
Illegal foreigner.
Here we go.
Miami-Dade police arresting a man who reportedly had child sex abuse material on his social media page. Dario Cajape Farias is facing 3 counts of possession of child sex abuse material after detectives say he had inappropriate videos of a 5- and 8-year-old on his Facebook account. Police say the 26-year-old also lived near Cutler Ridge Elementary School in Cutler Bay. Tonight, he's still behind bars.
By the way, that was in Florida. This guy has been deported multiple times. They just keep letting him in under the Biden-Harris administration. From the barbershop in the Bronx, Fox News goes there with Donald Trump. Some of the questions, this guy talked about the American dream.
I'm sure you're going to start back up the pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline,
in 2 minutes,
which is going to generate an abundance of revenue. Also, with the tariffs that you've spoken of. So my question is, with all this extra revenue we're going to be bringing into the country, so do you believe at some point in time we could find a way, once the country's back on its feet and getting enough revenue and paid off our debt, do you think it's possible to find a way to eliminate federal taxes?
There is a way.
And how do you feel about it?
In the old days, when we were a smart country, in the 1890s and all, this is when the country was relatively the richest it ever was. It had all tariffs. It didn't have an income tax.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Now we have income taxes, and we have people that are dying. They're paying tax, and they don't have the money to pay the tax. No, in the old days, 1890, 1880, we had so much money, they had to set up committees, blue ribbon committees, how to spend our wealth. We had no idea how to spend it with so much money. Then we went to the income tax system and the...
So, and by the way, for those that say we need the money from the income tax system, we actually raised more money in the United States last year than any other year. We raised a ton of money. And one of the barbershop owner asked a question, and he was talking about he was paying $2,100 in electricity.
Wow.
And all of a sudden that went to $15,000. And he said, I don't know how to survive. So we'll get to that coming up. Here's a guy asking a very important question to Donald Trump.
When you were president, I know for a fact I was able to do 3 things. I was able to see money, save money, spend money.
Right.
Now in the past almost 4 years now, I'm losing my business basically. The money's just not there.
It's your business?
It's my business. I started it for the past 10 years, and the only time I knew I made it was when you were in office, so I could speak for myself.
Right.
And the thing is, it's like, I don't know what more to do. How can we make the economy come back?
How do you get to the bottom of this? So here's what we're doing. Number one, it all began with the oil. They screwed around with what I did with oil. We had the greatest. We were energy independent. You remember back 4 or 5 years ago, $1.87 for a gallon of gas. We actually had it lower than that for your car, $1.87. Now it's at $3.50, but it was much higher. They brought back my policies to break even, but by that time the damage was done, and now you have it.
So this guy talking about his business is going under.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump as a businessman, this is why it's so different. Kamala Harris, she's never run a business.
No, she's only worked in government.
She never had to make a payroll in her life.
No.
That's a little bit different when you have to make a payroll.
Yes.
So Donald Trump instantly, when the guy talked about his electricity bill, he said, "How do you make it?" Same thing that Tom said. That's a lot of haircuts. How do you fix that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You fix it by bringing back energy independence in America and fixing what's going on coming into our ports. I think Donald Trump is spot on. The tariffs are not added on to the cost of the consumer. The tariffs are you tax, instead of taxing us, tax the people sending the goods to America.
Right. Well, it has a double effect, because say you get a phone from China, and we're going to use round numbers. It costs $100 here when they ship it here because there's no tariffs. But in order to make it here, we'd have to sell it for $200. So we can't compete with that. So the tariffs would make that Chinese phone compete with an American good. It would be $200. So it'd be a fair playing field. Yeah, it makes the playing field much even. Looks like one person dead after a plane crash in Las Cruces at the Air and Space Expo. Federal investigators are looking into the cause of that deadly crash. New Mexico State Police say one person died on the second day of the air show. Organizers canceled the rest of the events after that crash. Did you see who AOC, it was? He was the flight instructor for the actors in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
AOC has a great idea.
Tell us.
This is the best idea AOC has ever come up with.
Retire?
She is a genius. She is a genius. By the way, that's a Tom A word, genius. Squad member says to approach people while football games are going on. Knock on their doors. That's what she's saying. Pennsylvania, during the Penn State game, knock on enough doors and talk to enough people. I'm just going to say, when I'm watching my game, if you come knock on my door, I ain't got time for you. But that's her idea. Her idea is to interrupt football fans and harass them to get out and vote. That would encourage me to get out and vote, but not for your team.
Right.
Leave me alone.
That's funny.
During the time for me to watch the football game, my wife actually knows to leave me alone. AOC hasn't got the message yet.
Well,
I think it's an awesome idea.
It takes her a while. When you're slightly above Forrest Gump, it takes a while for things to settle in.
I think it's an awesome idea. Price of Oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, a division of Cud Energy Services. You probably heard us talking about all the positions that they had available. They have filled most of those positions, and which is awesome that they were a great company to work for. Cud Energy Services, along with Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, they are operating one of the largest drilling programs that deals with cementing solutions in the patch. Spinnaker dedicated to leading the way in cementing solutions, and they're in New Mexico, they're in Texas, and in Oklahoma. They've got 200 experienced cementing professionals out there. If you need more information, go to spinnakeroil.com or stop by Magnum Industrial Road in Hobbs. Price oil this morning, Tom.
West Texas Intermediate, $71.24, $74.88 for Brent crude, and the price of natural gas is $2.31.
All right, we're going to get to Kamala Harris coming up next. Kamala, not doing the gummies. We'll talk about that.
Nah, she's busy with cocaine.
Yeah. She's not for the gummies. Morning show being brought to you by All American Cleaners. All American Cleaners, family owned and operated. 17 pounds of clothes. They'll wash, dry, and fold 17 pounds of your clothes for $16.99. Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, Lovington, and in Hobbs. They do dry cleaning, starching, and wash, dry, and fold. AllAmericanCleaners.net for more information. Text line, guys.
Haven't the men died when speaking against the tax system and the Federal Reserve? One guy comes to mind, JFK, says the texter.
Yeah. Well,
and
the real thing that got JFK killed was he was going to get us out of Vietnam.
Yeah.
And Lee County, stand up, get out, and vote. Stop complaining and do something about it, says the texter.
I got voter numbers if you want them. I'll just give you totals.
Yeah, well, we'll go to that after Tom gets finished with the text. I also have national voting numbers.
Okay.
And Adam from Artesia says, "That's way better. Thank you. I think we fixed the problem.
The app.
Thank you very much."
Yeah.
Tom, that Carfax is an example of I was in the neighborhood that you about that you numbskull, says the texter.
That's what in the neighborhood means.
Yeah.
Why'd you skip over what original Tom A
Go ahead.
said?
I don't read mine.
On my podcast, I would bring Lauren Boebert and her handy hands. But if Tom A ever shows up to my show, I'll shut his microphone.
All right. And good morning, guys. Monica, thank you for fixing the text message. He says about the fog, says the texter. That's John from Eunice this morning.
Says the texter.
Well,
John
he's trying to edit it because he doesn't want to read the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, she read it already.
No, she didn't
Said
read
the
that part.
texter from the text line.
The dude from Lovington says, when does the early voting end?
From the text line.
Is it the second? The second.
It's Saturday before the election.
A week before the election.
On daylight savings
Saturday.
time, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, B.
Looks like the nice suspect arrested in connection with that undercover operation dealing with child solicitation. So they've got one more. Stephen Ritter Alzer was arrested, and he is supposedly trying to hook up with a 15-year-old and sent explicit messages and photos. And so there were 8 suspects arrested last week. They've got the 9th one. This guy will remain behind bars with the rest of his crew.
Good.
9 people arrested, and thank God for the Attorney General. You know, I a lot of times I don't like a lot of things the Attorney General is doing, but this is a great thing, getting the predators off the street. Awesome.
Yeah, I would believe that Raul Torres actually cares about children.
Yeah, I agree.
Just from what he's done.
Yep. Kamala Harris talking about how do you deal with stress? Maria Shriver asked her the question, and here's what she
Second
said.
Amendment. I have talked about the fact both Tim Walz and I are gun owners. I also believe we need reasonable gun safety laws, assault weapons bans, red flag laws, universal background check.
I played the wrong cut. That's where she was talking about the Second Amendment. Here is the gummy cut where she talks about handling stress, if it ever plays.
Okay.
Come on, Kamala. I know you want to play.
Hold on.
For whatever reason, it's just
Which
sitting
one,
there.
Which one is it?
Cut
gummy
number
one?
4, gummies.
Let me go find it. 4.
I'm going to have
All
to
right,
start.
here we go. Maybe. Mine's doing the same thing.
Yeah, evidently they got to it. Yeah,
I talked to says, I have to turn off the news. I can't read anything. I'm meditating. I'm doing yoga. I'm so anxious. I just don't even know. I'm eating gummies, all kinds of things, What are you doing? What are you doing?
Not eating gummies.
And Liz Cheney.
Okay, we got that clear.
Liz Cheney sitting beside her
Just
makes me
laughing.
sick. That a supposed Republican.
She's not, though. When was the last time she did anything pro-Republican?
I know.
She is
but
anti-Republican.
Still. And Carrie Jean-Pierre says she's very concerned about the leak. Yeah, all that information that was leaked about Israel attacking Iran.
Look, I appreciate the question. Like I said, we're certainly aware of the reports.
We're concerned.
We are very concerned.
We're very
I'm not going
concerned.
to get into specifics.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into details.
Yeah.
It's something for DOJ,
Yeah.
IC, and DOD to get into it, and certainly they can hopefully answer
Yeah.
any questions that you may have on this particular matter. But
Yeah.
look, as the reports are out
Yeah.
there and what
Mhm.
what we are hearing,
Mhm.
certainly we are very concerned by them.
Very.
They are being looked into. It's being investigated by the appropriate.
By the way, when's the last investigation? The cocaine at the White House? Nothing. the Trump attempted assassination, nothing. Nobody was fired. Had one guy resign. And of course, the director of Secret Service eventually resigned. Nobody is fired from this administration.
Well,
we do terrible job.
They fire people, but not anywhere that needs to be that way. Like if you turned out and they found out that you were going to vote for Donald Trump, you would be fired. Like that's the kind of firing they do. It's all political.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's the lady that is doing the sign language. I really think that she did the heaping pile of poo emoji in her sign language. That's what it looked like to me. I could be wrong. All right, voting numbers across the United States. Louisiana and North Carolina opened up their voting numbers. And for the first time in the history of early voting, more Republicans have voted early than Democrats.
Yeah.
14,482,000 mail-in or early votes cast nationally as of yesterday. 14 million people have voted so far.
Wow.
Nationally.
Wow.
Locally.
So Chavez County had 5610 total. Eddy County had 5678 total. And Lee County, 2717. That's total, and that counts the event center and all that stuff. Now
it's half of the other counties.
So in Lee County, you talk about Republicans being outnumbering Democrats, and that's true. 2,022 votes compared to 459 in Lee County. In Eddy County, in Eddy County, 3870 to 1365, and in Chavez County, 3631 to 1432.
Wow.
This is historic that nationally more Republicans are out early voting. And that's part of the reason for that is that Republicans always said vote on the day of the election.
Right.
But we kind of had to change your heart.
Well, we figured out it's easy for them to cheat when you do that.
Yeah. Yes. So more Republicans nationally voting than Democrats. That's the first time that's, I think, has ever happened. All right, we're going to get updated, find out what's going on with news in just a second. Big question, should New Mexico raise its alcohol tax?
Another tax.
Yes.
That will actually cause me to drink more.
Yeah.
So, Monica, you said yes. You think people should pay more for alcohol?
I think so, because when you think about it, not that I'm against, people drinking or partaking in alcoholic beverages or whatever, but I think that it's in such high demand. People buy it all the time. Like, they're going to buy it no matter how expensive it gets. And so in order to, I guess, benefit programs that can, that the government can help set up, like, MAD or help contribute or fund MAD, isn't that Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or even the DWI program? This one kind of hits close to me, so that's why I say I'm all for an increase.
I think that I think the alcohol tax should be equivalent to the marijuana tax.
Sure.
I think they should be the same because since this state has legalized both of those things, and they are consumed for the same reason generally.
Yeah.
The tax rate on those should be the same, and any other thing that they decide to legalize should also be at that same rate.
I agree.
Tom?
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, tax them, man. I mean, we're getting taxed anyway. I don't drink anyway,
So I
but I
don't think that we should have high taxes on them in the first place. But what I'm going to say is they need to be at the same level.
Well, no, what I was listening to yesterday, I believe it was KRQE, they reported that, I don't know who said it or whose mouth it came from, but the reason that they want to tax or increase the tax on alcohol sales is because they discovered, or studies show, that it's rich people who drink more than any other.
Rich people.
I'm not
It's the
buying
wealthy.
that.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I've seen the winos hanging out at the liquor store.
Correct. And I
I'm not a
disagree.
big time drinker, and I might drink once or twice a month, if that. And most of the time, it's not much. But I am never for the government taxing us, and this is what we would call a sin tax.
Yep.
And we already have a high tax on alcohol in the state.
Well, and that's what I was saying. I think it's too much as it is, but I think it all needs to be the same level.
Yeah, I mean, we have a high tax on alcohol in the state. And so what happens when we start taxing sodas? I'm not for that either.
Right.
What happens when we start taxing coffee?
Them's fighting words.
I'm just saying, if you're going to tax alcohol, why not tax coffee?
Yeah.
Well, because...
Well, drinking too much coffee is only going to make you go pee. It's going to turn your urine maybe a little yellow.
Maybe we haven't done enough medical research
But
yet.
alcohol, too much of it can hurt you and others.
Well, no doubt.
Well, I'm for
No
the
doubt.
sin tax, I guess.
You're for sin tax?
Yeah, that's the sin tax, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. You think you should just tax everything that people enjoy?
Right.
Yeah, I am just not. I'm for you know.
You're for
I'm
not
not
doing
for the
it?
government taxing us.
Well, we
And,
fought a revolution over taxes.
Yeah, I am not saying that because I'm a big time drinker, because I'm not. But, and if you give these socialists an inch, they will take a mile.
Yep.
So I am for no taxes. And so my answer to raising the alcohol taxes would be absolutely not.
B, we got a phone call.
No.
Is it? Oh, never mind.
And see, I drink whiskey, and my favorite is
whiskey?
Macallan, and it's not cheap, so taxes do end up on there costing a bit more. And I think whatever it is, if they're going to tax it, it needs to be all at the same level. If you're going to do a
And
substance tax,
here's the problem with that. Texas did a huge increase in the price of cigarettes.
They did.
And I'm not a smoker. And what they discovered, they raised it. Blake, you can probably help me with this. It was years ago. I think it was 50 cents a pack.
I think that's right.
I think it was 50 cents a pack.
Because they were still like 80 cents, and then it went to like for a pack because they advertised it, and then it went to like $1.40 or $1.50. So
and now cigarettes are what, $5 a pack?
No, I think they're almost like 9 or 10.
Oh yeah, they're almost like $9 a pack.
Holy,
yeah, like the Marlboro kind.
Is that stop people from smoking?
No, not at
well,
all.
I would argue that the number of people smoking has decreased overall.
Well, a lot of people are switching to those vape things because they're like can pay.
We don't know if that's better for you or worse.
I think it's worse because it still has all the same stuff in it. It just doesn't have the tar.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, it's expensive to be a smoker.
Yeah.
I am just for not taxing, but because if you give these liberals in Santa Fe 1 inch, they are going to tax. Next, they'll be taxing water.
And now we have a phone call, B.
So, all right, let's go to the phone call. We'll check the weather. We'll get you updated with news coming up. KWMW Malchmore.
You dropped again.
5 morning. How are you doing?
Doing good, sir. Doing good. Yes,
Frank.
sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. So when it comes to Israel, a lot of bad stuff comes out of this administration. Nothing comes out bad from Ukraine. That's how one-sided this administration is. That leak shouldn't have never happened in an administration that can keep a secret. But they start the wars, and then they pretend like, they start it and then they sabotage it. And this administration just needs to leave the White House, leave the government, and go do malicious things in your own town, in your own state, whatever. But leave our government alone. You're putting us at risk for World War III.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had a saying that loose lips
sinks ships.
Sinks ships.
Mhm.
Nowadays, it's loose tweets.
Yes. Yeah, and
Sinks.
this administration is sabotaging it. First, they got they lost the when you send people to go and try to simmer down the conversations and stuff, they didn't keep the eye on the ball. They fumbled it, and this is where Israel is now, and also Ukraine, because this party is the party of the rat, two-legged rat. They were just there trying to reach themselves and not paying attention what was going on around us. And now they're going to sabotage every single thing to make us look good, because they put us in this predicament of World War III. You know, if Israel goes through Iran, Israel attacks Iran, China's going to join in, Russia's going to join in against Israel, I think. Because their BRICS nations got together because
That's today. They vote on BRICS.
Yes, and look, the United States went and seized a lot of money from Russia and gave it to Ukraine, and Russia, they're mad because that's why they're doing the BRICS thing, because they don't want to deal with our dollar, American dollar. But everything is like a hair away from World War III, and I keep praying. I'm for humanity, man. I'm not for one global government, one world order, none of that.
I
but
completely
we
agree
love
with
humanity.
you, Frank.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Frank. Take it easy. By the way, BRICS, of course, that's China, Russia, Saudi Arabia. I can't think of the other countries, but they all have their currency, and they're trying to take the dollar off the world market as far as being the number one, having world trading nation status.
Right. It's
so
sorry, I had to type it up.
BRICS, if that ever happens, and it doesn't look like the White House is concerned with that.
No. BRICS countries. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's Saudi.
So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE.
So the big players in there, India and China, have the two largest economies in the world. The two largest economies in the world. Saudi Arabia is not a player. Russia on the global stage. Russia is a very small country, and their oil production has dwindled over the past 20 years or so.
Right.
So they're not really a player. Russia is not, they're the big bad wolf.
Well,
that has the big costume on.
But they can help steer away from the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Just like the UAE and Brazil.
Right. But doesn't seem like the White House is concerned about this.
Are they concerned about anything?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're right. All right, 7:05. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're on 128 this morning between Jowl and Carlsbad, all you have to do is exit on Buck Jackson Road and get fuel. They're about 2.75 miles down off of 128 on Buck Jackson Road. Open to the public. They serve diesel, DEF, unleaded, and they accept all credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards. If you're on 128, need fuel, exit Buck Jackson Road. Be safe on the road from the Twin Wells Fuel Station. 86 and sunny throughout the day. Overnight low tonight, getting down to 55, and clear skies tonight. Sunny tomorrow and 86, and most of the same for the rest of the week. We're going to be in the 80s with sunny skies. Taking a break, keeping you updated with everything going on. News being brought to you by A Custom Construction and Roofing and insurance specialists. Need a roofing professional that is licensed and bonded and insured. Dwayne Pennick is your guy. 575-318-9725. Dwayne Pennick and his staff, they've got 30 years of experience and A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau for 30 years. They want to warn you, there are a lot of guys that are out there, unlicensed contractors, many of them from out of state. They're saying they can get the job done. It's a deal that's too good to be true. And when they're gone, your warranty is also gone. Give Dwayne Pennick a call, 575-318-9725. Taking a break. Got a lot more to talk about when we come back. In about an hour, Mike Harrington from Chaves County. He's the sheriff. He'll be talking to us about the flooding in Chaves County. We'll talk about that. 707, we're W105.
Call now.
Thank you for calling.
Bob Swiftway in Lovington presenting the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
MTD Radio News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Get the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. 2 people have been confirmed killed and more than 300 people were rescued after heavy rains brought intense flooding to Roswell and the surrounding areas over the weekend, cutting off the city and other nearby communities as multiple roads and bridges were washed out or closed. The governor arrived in Roswell Monday to make an assessment and declared a state of emergency for Chaves County, making $1 million in state funds available for flooding response and recovery efforts. The Roswell Air Center also reopened at 11 a.m. Monday with flights back on schedule. Residential trash pickup for Tuesday will move to Wednesday, and residents are asked to place flood debris from their properties at the curb. A grappler truck will collect it. Roswell Transit is offering free rides along its bus routes for the next few days. The following city facilities are closed until further notice: the Recreation and Aquatic Center, Adult Center, Spring River Zoo, Public Library, Museum, Convention Center, Nancy Lopez Golf Course, and South Park Cemetery. Green Salt Products is moving into Phase 2 with a U.S. Department of Energy submission to build a $349 million depleted uranium processing plant near Hobbs. The company plans to employ as many as 200 people when operating at full capacity. GSP plans to operate the plant about 10 miles west of Hobbs in the same place International Isotopes had proposed in 2007 for a deconversion facility. And the Hobbs Public Library will celebrate Dia de los Muertos 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Thursday in the Hobbs Public Library meeting room by hosting a Sugar Skull decorating time. All materials will be provided, and the activity is geared towards those over 18 years old. But for those younger, in the 6th to 12th grade age range, the library is holding Teen-tober through October 31st. Teens can participate in a bookshelf scavenger hunt, a reading challenge, and win prizes. The Hobbs Public Library is located at 509 North Ship Street in Hobbs. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hello, this is David Shaw, CEO and Administrator for Norley Hospital District. It is election season, and I would like to take a moment and encourage you to vote to continue the Norley Hospital District mill levy. Thanks to your continued support, we have been able to provide services like cancer care, affordable transportation, and pediatric behavioral health services right here in your hospital district. Help us to continue to enrich your community by voting to continue the Norley Hospital District mill levy, paid for by Friends of Norley.
This holiday season, Michael Martin Murphey's Cowboy Christmas is coming to the Spencer Theater on December 7th at 2 p.m. Michael Martin Murphey's Cowboy Christmas is an extraordinary blend of music, encompassing his numerous best-selling Christmas albums alongside his beloved country and pop hits. Purchase tickets online at spencertheater.com or call the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
This Hobbs Eagles Sports Update is brought to you by America Supply in Hobbs, locally owned and operated, and a proud supporter of Hobbs Eagles athletics.
Looking for oilfield, industrial, and safety supplies? Go to America Supply. Need cleaning supplies? America Supply has that too. How about restaurant and food truck supplies? Are you beginning to see a trend here? America Supply carries everything from H2S and quad monitors, fire extinguishers and first aid kits, to safety glasses, vests, FR clothing, fall protection and gloves of all types. They have your slings and whip checks, your lift straps and cam locks, your adapters, pipe fittings, and threaders. They have many name brands like Lockout, Tagout, Pelican, Milwaukee, Rigid, and so many more. Visit America Supply to find exactly what you're looking for and then some. 502 North Grimes and Hobbs under the Big American Eagle, or call 575-393-3383.
We're talking to Eagles head coach Ken Stevens. Coach, it was a big win over Clovis, 63-8, but you have Oregon Mountain coming up. Tell us all about it.
It's always great to win homecoming. That makes it much sweeter for the kids and more enjoyable. And very proud of the boys. We played real well. They handled all the distractions. You know, homecoming can be a huge distraction to all the week with everything that's going on, and they handled it well and thought we played very well on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. Got up early. I think it was already 37-0 there in the first quarters. Came out and started hot and played really well. Thought it was good. We also got to get a lot of younger kids in the second half, guys that work hard in practice, but just, you know, not quite starters just yet. And so we got to reward some of those guys and allow them to play out there in the second half. And they did a good job when they came in. And now we've got Oregon Mountain coming up. Oregon Mountain's a much improved team. That's a critical game for us. I have a chance to earn a playoff spot. And so that'll be here in Hobbs again, another home game. It's going to be senior night. Hoping to see a good crowd come out and support these boys who have been working hard in our program for the last 4 years.
This has been your Hobbs Eagles Sports Update, brought to you by America Supply, 502 North Grimes in Hobbs, or call 575-393-3383.
In the who's who of radio, we're a what?
And who are you?
Be in the Breakfast Club, 877-396-W105. Call or text.
Nothing about that show makes sense.
No, back to the show.
Coffee kind of makes me nervous when I drink it.
877-396-W105. It's already 13 minutes after the hour of 7. I did not do the thought for the day, being brought to you by Wakefield Oil. They've got close to 40 years of experience. Boom or bust, they are there for you, delivering oil and gas throughout the patch. Give them a call, 575-622-4160. Go to wakefieldOil.com. Thought for the day in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. Thought for the day is, I have it all together. I just forgot where I put it. That's my thought for the day this morning. We'll get you updated with the weather. Gavin Newsom speaking out against Fox News, and Kamala brings out Lizzo and Usher. They both spoke. And how many kids have we lost in the past 4 years?
300-something thousand.
Too many.
And where are these kids? What are they doing? Who has them? I'll see if I can answer some of those questions coming up next. Text line 877-396-W105. Morning show being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. Fifth wheels, RVs, travel trailers. They've got you covered. And look, these folks have been around 70 years. 70 years, giving you great customer service, fair pricing, and they offer all of that today. Give them a call this morning, 575-822-1751, or go to the website, maintrailersalesinc.com. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. Tom?
Hi, B. We got a wreck to report this morning. The texter is saying there is a wreck on Highway 18 just south of Jow by the tank farm. Traffic is backed up all the way to the lake, not moving at all. Again, a wreck on Highway 18 just south of Jow by the tank farm. According to the text, traffic is backed up all the way to the lake and not moving at all. This report being brought to you by
Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Check him out today. Tom?
Mama Bear is chiming in. She said, by the way, the Pecos River outside of Artesia is like a mile wide. Wide, my hubby said. So
Yeah, that whole area, I'm sure it is.
Some of that water came down, no doubt about it. And Artesia Adam from Artesia says it's funny how people are okay with taxing or taking away stuff when it doesn't concern them or they don't like it. It sounds like a Democrat to me, says Adam from Artesia this morning.
He was talking about you saying, yeah, tax it.
Yeah, tax it.
And me probably. However, I'm far from. He also said that it's $13 a pack for Marlboro.
$13.
Holy
Are you
crap.
okay with
I mean,
that,
I don't
though,
smoke,
Adam?
so I don't know.
I mean, at what point do you say, golly, I ain't
when-
paying that much for some
doubt.
Marlboros?
How cheap is the cheapest stuff?
I have no
I
idea.
mean, if that's what name brands are, I wouldn't even.
Well, I think
wanna
vapes
pay
are
for
pretty
the cheap
close to
kind.
the same price as a pack of cigarettes.
Man.
That's crazy, man.
Now, Dexter, we had one of the texters sent over a notification from Dexter Schools that says, "Good morning. Students and staff impacted by the recent devastation are not expected to attend school today. We hear your frustration. The original message sent out by Dexter Schools on the district's Facebook page was unclear. I will apologize to the community because you do not need added stress. The school is open for some normalcy for families that choose to attend. I hope these messages help clear any miscommunication."
It sounds like somebody is backtracking.
Yeah, a lot. So there you go.
And this one text says, we have to help and support Israel to have God's blessings and protections, says the texter. Is that in the Bible there?
Quit saying, said the texter.
Said the
We're
texter.
going to the texter. We know the message is from the texter.
And why should the cigarettes be taxed the same as any food, says this one text. And if you're going against taxes, how do you expect to pay for our police, our schools, our firefighters, and everything else?
We have a state income tax.
We do.
We have a local income tax.
We have a property tax. We have
a
all
property tax.
That's what pays all the things you just listed was the property tax.
Yeah, I don't know if cigarette tax.
And no one
goes
said
to pay for any of that.
no one said tax it like food.
I'm going to read what John from Eunice says. He said, Monica, that sounded like a liberal talking, Monica. I'm sorry, but the liberals will tax us on air before too long and waste the money, just like they do on everything else. Their answer to everything is more taxes. Now, while I will agree with you, I said that was something that's personal to me. I would feel comfortable. And if it were to never pass, it never goes through, that's fine. But if you were to, ask me, what is your vote for taxing harmful products, cigarettes, alcohol, beer, increasing the tax on that, my answer would be, I'm all for it. Now, don't tax us the same way on food and groceries, necessities, things like that, because you can't live without those things. But you can live without alcohol. You can live without tobacco.
What about sugar? I mean, there is nothing
that is
that
true.
kills
That's another
people
thing.
more than sugar.
Well,
so should sugar be taxed?
And I'm not in favor of taxes being punishment.
That's what I kind of made it sound like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just, in my opinion, I guess it's easier for me to say because I don't partake in those things. However, if I were someone who did partake in alcohol and tobacco, I would think that maybe I wouldn't be for it. I'm just saying it's easy for me to say yes.
Yeah, again, my thing is it just needs whatever is going to be at the same level.
I agree with you.
But I don't think that taxes on consumption items for anyone should be punitive.
Correct. And Patrick agrees with you. He said flat tax, 15% on all of things like that.
Just one sales tax.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, sugar is the biggest killer out there.
And I would actually be almost in favor of putting sugar in that same category.
Sugar tax.
Sugar tax.
Well, I'm not.
Be okay with
Let me be clear. I'm not in favor of that.
I am not in favor of any taxes.
Right, but I'm in favor of a flat tax, and I'm in favor like a national flat tax and a national sales tax.
Sure. This
Yeah, I don't
person
believe
said,
tax.
I work at Allsups in Tatum part-time, and the cheapest smokes are $7 to $8, and the name brands are $10 to $13 a pack.
Man.
A la máquina.
That is nuts.
Tom,
Yeah.
did you just say that makes you want to quit?
If I was a smoker, it'd make me want to quit.
Oh, okay.
Man,
This person
is
said, "That's
nuts.
it."
Well,
Monica is
no. You haven't quit nothing.
Well, yeah.
I've been knowing
yeah,
you for
yes.
20 years, and you just keep going back to your addiction, so don't judge anybody else.
Anybody judging?
Yeah, you judging.
What about if they did a buffet tax, Tom?
All right, we're apples and oranges. Here we go again.
Yeah, there you go. Brand new study finds that music might help lift your spirits if you're trying to recover from surgery. So they say, unless it's Justin Bieber or Jonas Brothers,
Right.
don't listen to that. And animal rescuers in Oregon say they found a small white animal spotted earlier this month in Portland, and they captured it. It was actually an Arctic fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Oregon. Good news is the fox is okay. The bad news is it's stuck in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, they don't know where it came from either because they normally don't come down that far. They stay in the Arctic.
Al Pacino starred in a controversy crime movie called Cruising back in 1980. Took money, and it was a lot, and put it in a trust fund, meaning that he's going to give that to charity.
Wow.
So it's been collecting interest, and it's all going to charity. So I don't remember that movie.
I don't
Controversial
either.
movie, Cruising.
No.
I have no idea what that was. Cruising. And Rosie O'Donnell's oldest daughter was arrested in Wisconsin again. We talked about her.
She was cruising.
Yeah, she felony child neglect and drug possession charges that they found needles in the under the crib where the baby was laying. Isn't that crazy? Ruidoso.
Okay, so here's the synopsis of the movie: a psychopath scouring New York City gay clubs and viciously slaying homosexuals.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
He was the detective in that movie. So
don't remember that.
Not
one.
a blockbuster.
Said it had a lot of S&M things and stuff like that. 19.
Looks like Ruidoso resident wants to give back to Roswell. She says she has not forgotten the heartbreaking experience that they experienced early this year in Ruidoso. So this nurse is trying to get a bunch of folks together to give back to her name is Elisa Linden. She's a resident and a nurse in Ruidoso, and wants to give back. She has started up a drive for goods in Ruidoso. So Ruidoso has not forgotten everything that is going on. By the way, if you want to give to the people in Roswell, Pioneer Bank has set up a financial donation portal there where you can give money at Pioneer Bank. I'm sure there are others out there. I always tend to give money to local folks instead of giving money to the Red Cross and those guys.
Right. Always
That's
local.
that's just me. Kamala Harris plans to import more diversity migrants in the United States. This whole idea that we have to have a diversity visa lottery, and they think it's a great idea. Now, part of that diversity visa lottery, we actually brought in a convicted Islamic State terrorist in the United States. If you're going to bring them in, I would think that at least you could, I don't know, vet them. And the immigration plan of 2021, the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 that Kamala Harris praised on Brett Baier has brought in, they have no idea how many people. 11 to 22 million people under Joe Biden's term.
That's crazy.
11 to 21 million people. And their numbers of counting are pretty much like Tom. It's in the neighborhood. It was pretty much right there. All right, we're going to talk about 2 people killed in a shooting in Farmington. We'll get to that. Taking out the trash is on the way. Morning show this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all your laundry, cleaning, dry cleaning, pressing. Yeah, they can wash, dry, and fold your clothes. Not a problem. You drop them off, they can take care of them. Or if you want to take care of it yourself, not a problem. They have coin-operated machines, and their locations are open 7 days a week. 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church in Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. Check them out today. It's already 7:26. Text line is open.
All right. You know, you guys don't realize this text is saying that the power struggle amongst the school board in Dexter, and if you're not going to be informed, you don't need to have an opinion. Oh, we're going to stay out of your business then.
No.
No,
We're not.
Well, if you don't want to be informed, how do you get informed? You listen to multiple opinions and come up with your own opinion, correct?
Right. You discuss it.
Okay.
You discuss
All
it.
right.
That's how you become
Right.
informed.
Excuse me. My cigarettes are $91 a carton, but I'm like Tom. I'm weak and can quit. I'm not like Tom. I can quit, says the texter. Well, quit then. Don't get yourself sick from that cancer of cigarettes. Excuse me. What if the tax people with disabilities are more for eating the wrong food?
Yeah.
The text says it's a sin tax, isn't it?
It is a sin tax. And food is killing you. Our food, our
Bad food.
processed food, is poisoning us. And the only thing I can say on that is do your research. Seriously, do your own research. And we do have a phone call, Kevin.
All right, let's go to the phone.
Good morning. What's your name? Where
Morning,
you
how
call
you
from?
doing?
Yeah, my name's Jackie. I'm calling from the Patch.
Hey, yeah.
I just wanted to comment. I'm 65 years old. I've been smoking since I was 16. So I've heard these taxes and yeah, I'm a beer drinker. Who in the old field isn't?
Right.
But we've heard about these taxes over and over and over again. What everybody needs to look at, and it pisses me off that they say, well, we found out the rich drink more. You may be right.
Do they?
Of wine, champagnes, smoke the high-end cigars. It's the average person like me and everybody I work around that drinks the beer, smoke the regular Marlboros, Winstons, out here in the oil field and every place else in the public. We're the ones being taxed. Look and see what the tax is on the high-end wines and champagnes and your Cuban cigars. It's not near what it is for the ones that us regular public folks buy out of the Allsup's, Town and Countries, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when I heard that, y'all say that, they're saying the rich, they might drink more, but they're not drinking no Bud.
Right.
I mean, not like we do out here at Coors or Michelob Light. They're drinking the high dollar stuff. They're not down here on our level.
So
yeah, no
and
doubt.
still alive.
I'm against the sin tax.
Yeah.
So
Me
I mean, and I mean, when you can go to the reservation and buy a carton of cigarettes for $40, because they don't have all the taxes.
Right.
Yeah, but still $40. That's still a lot.
$40 a carton. I've got a buddy that goes down there about every 3 months and stocks up.
Wow.
And that's what he pays, is just shy of $40 a carton. And they don't have all this BS. Sorry about that. Chemicals and stuff that our cigarettes do out here that we're paying $90, $100 a carton for.
Crazy, isn't it?
They don't have all the chemicals in them. They're natural.
Double the price.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I
double the
appreciate
price,
the
almost
call.
triple in some places.
Yeah, that
You bet,
that's
anytime,
great.
brother.
I appreciate it. All right, let's do take it out trash. Go ahead, Monica.
I like that he touched on how long he'd been smoking, how long he'd been drinking, because for people like that who are going to consume tobacco and they're going to consume alcohol, to them it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the cost is, what taxes.
Well, it matters.
I mean, it matters, but they're to the point where they're like, I can't be without my cigarettes. I have to have my drink after work.
Well,
and they're going to
great
buy
example of that is, prices have gone up 30%.
Correct.
You go to, and I'm not going to pick on any convenience store, but you go to the convenience store and you're going to pick up a soda. Just look at a soda. Look at how much a 44-ounce soda has gone up in the last 4 years. And we're not going to stop drinking.
Well, I will give you a good example. You can go and you can get the tea that come in the tall cans.
Yes.
The Arizona teas?
Arizona's or
whatever
the
Arnold
other
Palmer
one.
or whatever.
Yeah. So one of those, right?
Those used to be like $1.25.
Well,
right?
they used to be like 79 or 99 cents
Yes.
just
Yes.
about 4 years
Yes.
ago. Now they're $1.79.
Right.
Peace tea, that's the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
peace
peace
tea.
tea.
They're $1.79. In some places, they're more than $2.
Yeah. You know, it's just
I mean,
crazy.
And that's in 4 years.
It's like Red Bull.
Yeah.
Red Bull, when they first hit the market, it was $1.59 for a
12 ounce.
When I left the U.S.,
$4.99.
a 12-ounce Red Bull was $1.59. Some places those are $2.89
Easy.
now.
Yeah, easy.
And I am doing my best. Again, I have given up Red Bulls. I haven't had one all week. And starting on Saturday, I haven't had any soda since Saturday.
Nice.
And so I'm going to do my best to walk away again. The problem is
those Black
that at
Rifle
some point-
coffees, they're almost $4. They're $4.
Yeah, I mean, everything has gone up, and we keep drinking them.
Yeah.
We keep drinking them. So,
Someone said beer and cigarettes for men is the equivalent to makeup for women. Monica, are you going to stop putting on your face because the cost of makeup is too high? Not really.
Yeah.
babe.
And that was my point with sugar, is that we all want to say, yeah, go ahead and tax something that we don't do, but are we all going to give up sugar?
Yikes.
No.
Nah,
No.
probably not.
I remember
like to.
and remember in New York they taxed sodas.
Yeah, they said
and
you
they
couldn't
said
have more
you
than
couldn't
20.
buy more than a 12-ounce soda.
Yeah. People
I
went
don't want the
ballistic.
government in my health.
No.
Sheesh, all I said was I was for a tax that increased the cost on bad stuff for our bodies.
Well,
okay?
but if you're going to say bad stuff for our bodies,
Sugar is the
Correct.
biggest
Like
killer.
that would fall into the category too. Like let's tax
it
sugar
causes
as well.
it causes diabetes, it causes heart
Yeah.
disease, it causes all
It's-
those things.
Yeah, sugar's terrible. All right, take it out trash. Let's get to that. Being brought to you by Trash Eaters. They can go to your home and pick up your trash. They do residential trash pickup. They have the 96-gallon poly carts for that. They also have the 2-yard and the 4-yard metal dumpsters for commercial trash pickup. And if you need the big roll-off containers, they have those. If you're on location right now and you're thinking, we need to get a roll-off container, we got a lot of stuff that needs to be hauled out of here, give Kayleen a call, 575-408-1719, or go to the website, trash-eaters.com. I was reading this story on the Daily Wire this morning that the drug cartels given permission to shoot at the Border Patrol agents. Given permission to shoot at the Border Patrol agents, according to a brand new report. Members of the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico have been given permission to fire at the Border Patrol agents. The internal memo that was transmitted to federal agents in the El Paso sector, warning agents of the new danger. The News Nation reported, according to a brand new report, that the Mexican Sinaloa cartel has been given the red light to shoot at Border Patrol agents. Memo reveals that 2 days prior, shots were fired at contractors working in El Paso and the Del Rio sector. The new problem is that after El Mayo, the co-founder of the Sinaloa cartel, was arrested, along with Joaquin Guzman Lopez, the son of El Chapo, were arrested in the United States. They are saying that more shootings could happen in the El Paso sector and across Texas. So, number one reason they are fighting for these plazas. There is a big fight going on in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. And the Sinaloa cartel does not want to lose control of their territories.
Well,
and because of that, they are getting more brazen, and taking out a Border Patrol agent is not a big deal for them.
And that's why we need Trump to put the military down there.
Amen. Take it out the trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. Call them today. 7:33. We're going to get to things that happened on this date in history. 2 killed in a shooting. Suspect has been arrested in Farmington. Police in Farmington investigating 2 shootings that they believe were connected. 1 suspect is in custody. Police say they all started with a breaking and entering call. While officers were headed that way, the shooting happened a few blocks away from the original called location. Not long after, there was a second shooting. They say that a woman was killed in the first shooting and a man in the second shooting. Officers say the first shooting was a domestic violence incident. Second happened as a suspect was trying to run. They believe that the alleged shooter also is responsible for the breaking and entering. Police are not identifying anyone at this point, but they say they do have a suspect that is in custody. He has not been identified at this point. And Arkansas Supreme Court blocks the marijuana ballot measure. So Arkansas had a measure on the ballot for November to allow the citizens to vote on marijuana excess. And Supreme Court of Arkansas has taken that measure off the ballot. They have blocked the proposed state constitutional amendment that would have expanded the access of marijuana, citing misleading language that was not clear to voters as the key reason for barring the Secretary of State's canvassing or certifying ballots that would have been cast on November 5th. By the way, that was a 4-3 ruling from the Supreme Court. And this sheriff in Florida has been getting a lot of heat. Some of the things he's been talking about. Remember the guy that said, if you come to our and you loot, we will shoot?
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So that Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County, uncovered human trafficking in his county and did a Operation Autumn Sweep. They arrested 157 individuals, 25 illegal immigrants, charged with illegal acts, soliciting, prostitution, and other acts. And as he discovered that many of the individuals that he arrested had been arrested and let out before, but he starts to tell the biggest story about one suspect, a Venezuelan mother that came to America. And he said, along with other Venezuelans who came to America to commit crimes, to be part of a crime syndicate.
Right.
But this mother walked from Juarez to El Paso with her 1-year-old and was greeted by the Border Patrol agents. That's what she told Judd. That, yeah, you heard me right, greeted by the Border Patrol agents.
Okay.
No border security, no southern border, zero exists, according to the sheriff. Anyway, the sheriff noted that the woman was processed, given a DNA test, and released to a housing facility. And then she was told that they could fly her to anywhere that she wanted. She chose Florida. That's how she got to Florida. Wow. And they also gave her SNAP benefits and money and all kind of other stuff. So she went from the border to Florida. And he said that's how a lot of these individuals are ending up in Florida. Wow. Do you think that's intentional, Blake?
Of course it is. Yeah, yes, they will put them anywhere. Because
I think they're trying to send these folks to red districts, red states.
Well, they disrupt everything.
Yes. Yeah. Kamala Harris wants America to have the world's highest death tax. Look, Kamala Harris wants to tax you on everything.
Yeah.
And that is an ultimate socialist thing. They get rid of inheritance. They don't want your kids to have anything you had.
Right.
This goes along with the plan to share the wealth.
It's communism.
All the way.
Share the wealth. Tim Walz hits back at critics. He was on The View yesterday and said, I can shoot better than any of them. He couldn't even load the damn shotgun. How are you going to shoot? You going to have somebody else shoot for you?
Right. B, we got a phone call.
All right, let's go to the phone call. Before we get to the phone call, Morning show this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Rig Outfitters. Rig Outfitters in the home store in the Broadmoor Mall. Extensive collection of FR jeans, coveralls, and more. They've got steel-toe boots. In fact, they have boots for $99. They have a section of boots for just $99. They also have furniture, appliances, and electronics. Check them out, rigoutfitters.com for more information. Right next door is Scrub Outfitters. They have the largest amount of the largest selection of medical scrubs at 100 miles. Healing Hands, Medcouture, Peaches, and more. Follow them on Facebook. Tom?
Good morning. You're on B in the Breakfast Club.
Good morning, friends. How y'all doing?
Mark from Ross. How you doing, buddy?
I'm here. Backstroke. Got the boat out.
Right.
No, it's starting to dry up. It's just cleanup right now.
Yeah, we're going to talk to the sheriff later on this morning about the damage out there. I heard the governor was in your town yesterday.
She was hugging
Did you go
on
out
you.
and meet the governor?
Hell no. Sorry, but hell no. No.
She's only there to help, Mark. Come on.
She was only there for 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes, Blake.
Right?
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
guys,
They couldn't get in the Roswell because the airport was closed. Can't they get in a damn car and drive like us?
No.
No, she's too good. She may spill her drink on the rough roads down this way.
Yeah, you're right about that, right, Mark? But thoughts and prayers for you folks, Mark. Hope everything is going well.
It's going good right there at the Civic Center and Arby's, all that stuff. That got hammered the worst because all the water for Spring River.
Yeah.
And, you know,
You've been
I
in
took
Roswell a long
pictures.
time. Have you seen anything like this before?
Not as bad. They said it hadn't happened like this since 1901.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it, over there in Hagerman, where the water comes down the Leon. And then over there going
Phyllis?
to, there you go. Going to Walmart, that bridge over there where the water comes down.
The Brendo.
Yeah. But nothing like this. And somebody put the cameras, they made from a timestamp for every 30 minutes, and you could see the water rising and rising and rising. Unbelievable.
I've seen the water go over the Brendo Bridge before, but you get up at Baca, up Capitan and stuff, you get big heavy rains there and it comes down.
Sure.
And then it rains here. Well, yeah, it's going to flood. But Roswell and the little towns down this way, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, Artesia, ought to be glad that we have rivers, creeks, all this that do run through the town to help hold back this water. Kevin, the water was overflowing every one of them here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Now, Mark, you worked for the city for a long time. Somebody was talking about levees. Roswell doesn't have levees, do they?
they're out. You remember Twin Dams, Twin
Yes.
Rivers?
Coming into town.
Okay.
There's some
was it,
berms.
last year? Yeah, it's just a big to hold back water. Michelle's uncle's dad constructed them. He designed them because Roswell used to flood like that all the time. But they had a berm break last year, or the last one deal that flooded out at the base real bad and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of them were panicking. They thought it was the same thing that happened. I said, no, we had almost 10 inches of rain, people.
Yeah, yeah. That's a lot of rain to handle. And a lot of people think that if the ground is that dry, it's going to be, it's hard to penetrate the ground.
Yes.
That when the ground is that dry.
Well, we were at church Friday night for CR and all. It rained Friday night, and then that all came in Saturday night and all.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, forget it, buddy.
Yep, exactly. Mark, we appreciate you. We're going to get the sheriff on coming up in about 15 minutes. Appreciate you, buddy. 746. We are Beyond the Breakfast Club. Kamala Harris. I thought Usher was part of the problem with, with P. Diddy. I thought his name was mentioned.
I seem to recall it, but didn't he say something? Wasn't he the opposite? Didn't he say like that was evil or something?
Yeah, well,
I just
he was out.
There was some.
He was out. He said that he, remember they sent him for Diddy camp, is what they called it, where he had to spend 2 weeks at P. Diddy's house.
Right.
And he said he was glad that he got out of there as quick as possible when he was a young man. Here's what Usher had to say, and then Lizzo had to say as they come to the defense of Kamala Harris.
As we all know, and we have the opportunity to choose a new generation of leadership for our country. We all know what it means to be supportive, but ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support the next president of the United States. Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he had to correct her name. By the way, it looks like he had a Snuggie on. If you go back and look at the video, remember the Snuggie that everybody wanted, that they could sit on the couch and wrap themselves in the Snuggie? That's what it looks like.
Yep.
And then Lizzo, by the way, if Lizzo would wear a Snuggie, it would just look like a poncho.
They say if Kamala wins, then this whole country will be like Detroit. Well, I say proud like Detroit. I say resilient like Detroit. This is the same Detroit that innovated the auto industry and the music industry. So put some respect on Detroit's name.
By the way, and killed the auto industry.
I was going to say, the Detroit she's talking about is not the Detroit of today.
Right.
No. Yeah.
That's
they
the Detroit
killed the
of
auto
20 plus years ago.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to things that happen on this date in history. Unaccompanied children coming across into the United States. How many were lost? Here's more on that story.
For the past 4 fiscal years, 32,000 unaccompanied children failed to appear for their immigration hearings. As of May of this year, ICE also didn't serve notices to appear on more than 291,000 unaccompanied minors. The Homeland Security Investigations Dallas office tells Fox that sex trafficking is a bigger issue than many realize and impacts many different cities across our country.
It can happen in schools. It can happen in neighborhoods. It's not just any one specific area that you can pinpoint it to, unfortunately. It's an epidemic, unfortunately, in society.
32,000 kids missing. And probably a great majority of those kids
are dead
or trafficked.
Drug trafficking, and sex trafficking. Unbelievable. All right, when we come back from the break, Donald Trump is in North Carolina. He's talking about the flooding, and he's talking about FEMA money, which will impact very soon Roswell, New Mexico, and southeast New Mexico. So we'll hear from Donald Trump coming up in just a second. Nathan Wade. Tom, you remember the name Nathan Wade?
He's what's her name's boyfriend?
Lover.
Yeah.
Fannie
Fannie
Willis. By the way, this guy remembered his childhood like yesterday, but you ask him anything about his meetings at the White House and he can't remember. Did he go to the White House?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Why would a guy that the special counsel to investigate Donald Trump, prosecute Donald Trump, why would he be at the White House?
To get his instructions.
Oh, but he can't remember any of that. Well, I mean, I was there, but I don't remember anything about it.
Well, that's kind of like Hillary saying she was home making cookies, if you remember that.
Yeah, he can't remember anything about it. Albertsons, chicken products. voluntary recall. So if you bought some chicken from Albertsons, there is a voluntary recall of 12 types of ready meals and store-made deli items. There could be a Listeria contamination. So if you have bought chicken from Albertsons, go to the Albertsons website and check that out. And there are 12 different items that are being recalled. And good for Albertsons that they are doing this voluntarily, coming up with a recall. All right, 877-396-W105, National Anthem and the Pledge on the way. We've got things that happened on this date in history. First, though, text line 877-396-W105.
All right, this text is saying, when you have Mike Harrington on this morning, can you inquire whether he knows what estimated repair time for the bridge between Roswell and Artesia on 285? Right now, the only way to get from Artesia to Roswell is Highway 2 through Dexter, Hagerman, and Lake Arthur, and the extra diverted 285 traffic is going to literally destroy that highway road, says Chris.
That's going to be a long time.
Yeah,
that is going to be. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is going to be a long time repair.
So we'll ask him that.
Yeah, state project,
yeah,
and it's going to take a while.
You said state
They're
project.
They're going to have to do a study. They're going to have to make sure the footing on that bridge is still good. I wouldn't be surprised if that's 6 months to a year to repair, if
Easy.
that.
Easy.
And
Trump upsets haters, since we get one once a morning for him. Trump is waving at nobody. He's old, he's angry, he's senile, demented, and unfit.
That would have been Joe Biden waving at nobody. I mean, you can't come up with some new material, bro.
He's stuck on that. He is stuck in the. He can't come up with anything that's actually.
By the way, if you're watching this morning, let me wave to you.
A la máquina.
Is that a bird? Did I see a bird?
Yes.
The bird. The bird's the word.
That bird flying low.
There you go. It's gone now.
Kevin, don't get us knocked off of YouTube.
That's not gonna.
He was just pointing at the light.
Okay.
I got
you were
buddies
pointing
of mine
down,
that
Kev.
have a show called Whiskey and Wine, and they do it after the LSU games, and by that time they are toasted, and it is the most vile thing, and they ain't been kicked off of YouTube, so I doubt very seriously if we will be.
Right. Remember,
Okay.
B's only got 4 fingers.
Well,
He can
now
only use
I'm
one
like
at a time.
super cautious about what we say or do because I don't want to get us kicked off.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can flip birds.
Yeah, and they're dropping F-bombs and all kind of other stuff.
Well, we should be able to, but
Tom, tell me what your thoughts on this before we get to things that happen on this day.
Alrighty.
I haven't talked to the wife about this, but I'm leaving Friday to head back to New Mexico.
Okay.
Saturday is Texas A&M and LSU.
You going to the ballgame?
You should just stop in College Station.
That's what I'm thinking about. That would be a good
That's
stopping.
actually, from where you're coming from, that's actually a good way just to go back here, honestly.
Yeah, it's shorter to go through Dallas and then Houston. I mean, for years I went Houston, but it's about an hour shorter to go through Dallas. But I could go towards Houston and cut down, get to College Station, and then make my way back up.
If you can get tickets to the ballgame.
I checked that last night. They were still available.
Wow. Well, I would go then. I mean, it's just a weekend.
So, are you saying you're going to pay for them? For my tickets?
That's what he said. Because he said
That's what I heard him say.
He said he owes you some stuff already from gambling debts.
Oh, he's finally going to pay off that.
No, let's don't go there now.
That he owes me.
I like Tom's serious voice.
I paid you off a long.
No,
time
you
ago.
didn't.
But he don't keep record of that stuff. See?
Oh,
we do.
believe me, I keep record, bro.
His memory is worse than mine.
$428 a ticket.
$428. Jeez.
Yeah,
I would pass. Unless Tom's paying.
I watch it on the phone and driving home.
You know, Tom would be in favor as long as someone else is paying. So I'm in favor as long as Tom is paying.
Ooh, that's $1,000 right there.
Yeah, I'll be driving home watching.
I don't know. I got to rethink this.
Yeah, that.
All right, Tom, get to the text.
All right, this time we have been talking about the cigarette taxes and everything else. This texter says, we shouldn't. Why shouldn't beer and cigarette taxes be taxed more? It has a social cost, health issues, family issues, and it does not serve a purpose. Saying cigarette and beer should have the same tax that toothpaste does is really crazy.
What about sugar?
Says the text.
Yeah, sugar has more of a health cost than all that put together. Now, I have a phone call, Kevin, and I think it's somebody involved with the station. What is MTD Inc.? Isn't that one of our phones?
Yep.
Let's go to
Could
the
it
phones.
be Will?
It could be. He's driving. Good morning.
It is Will.
Hi,
Will.
Will Rooney.
How are y'all?
Doing another day.
So I am headed Artesia to Roswell, obviously. Thank you, because I have to divert now to a different highway so that I can actually make it all the way, because I forgot the bridge was washed out. So thank you to the callers who were talking about that. But real quickly, since yesterday, we've been on the video stream is taken on a TV station in Albuquerque. So Kevin, the bird, is not okay anymore. The internet doesn't care. The internet doesn't care.
The bird. That was scratching my head.
Oh, okay.
Remember, his other
totally
fingers
fine.
don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Does he even have a fingertip on that finger? Oh, the other hand. Okay. Well, if you do the other hand, then you're okay because you don't have any fingers on that hand. So.
Yeah, I could do that
He was
one.
throwing nubs.
He flicked it.
Anyway, just be aware and say hi to our friends in Albuquerque on the TV channel. So.
I appreciate you, Will.
Well, hello, Albuquerque.
All right, no problem.
All right, let's get to things that happened on this date in history. 757 being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range. 236 East Navajo in Hobbs, veteran-owned and operated, largest selection of guns. If you've been thinking about getting a suppressor, they're saying that the approval time is they're getting them approved quickly, and you could still shoot with the suppressor on at the range. Indoor firing range. These guys, state-of-the-art indoor firing range, climate-controlled, with the Milo FBI training simulator, over 1,000 different scenarios. They've got guns, the largest selection of guns. They offer financing for guns. They've got clothing, King's ammo, clothing, the complete selection, grunt-style clothing. They've got ammo, cleaning supplies, and so much more. And if you've never fired a gun, but you want a gun for personal protection, they can train you. Yeah, they can train you. They can give you some gun safety courses and group setting or one-on-one. Find them, 2atacticalrange.com, or 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
So on this day in 1797, French balloonist André Jacques Garrin made the first parachute jump, landing safely from a height of about 3,000 feet. And in 1836, Sam Houston was inaugurated as the first constitutionally elected president of the Republic of Texas.
Yes.
They were going to honor him with the Sam Houston Institute of Technology, but they changed their minds when they saw the acronym. And on this date in 1934, bank robber Charles Pettyboy Floyd was shot to death by the FBI at a farm in East Liverpool, Ohio. In 1938, Chester Carlson printed the very first photocopy on his strange new invention, the Xerox photocopier. Yeah. All those other things, IBM, RCA, Kodak, all passed on it because they didn't think a machine that only made copies would be a hit.
Wow.
1939 was the very first televised football game that took place. It was the Eagles versus the Dodgers.
Oh, wow. There was a Dodger football team?
Yeah, I guess they got baseball bats, so it's easy for them to win. On this date in 1948, the Xerox machine, like I said, made its debut. And in 1962, President Kennedy announced a naval blockade of Cuba. Castro wasn't too happy. In 1967, Apollo 7 returned safely, splashing down in the Atlantic. Yeah, there's some jokes there. On the date in 1981, the U.S. national debt topped $1 trillion. Now, for those that don't realize how big that number is, that's 36 followed by 12 zeros for our national debt now. So that's 36.
Trillion.
Yep. So right now, our national debt, if you spend $100 a second, it would take you 317 years to pay that off.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And I think our share is $60,000 per person.
Yep.
Our share of the
Ain't
debt.
gonna pay it off.
And then finally, in 2012, Lance Armstrong was stripped of all 7 of his Tour de France titles. And there are no winners listed for those years because everybody else in the top 10 also was doping. So it's kind of pointless to strip him of the title.
Sure.
Today is National Tavern Style Pizza Day, National Make a Dogs Day, National Color Day, and National Nut Day. Drummer Zach Hansen is 39 today and looking for work.
Was he a member of Hanson?
Mhm.
The brothers?
Bop.
Bop. Yeah.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson, that's Mitchell from Modern Family, turns 49 today. Ichiro Suzuki celebrates number 51 today. Of course, he's a baseball player. Orville Richard Burrell turns 56 today. You might otherwise know him as Shaggy, the rapper.
Okay.
It wasn't him. Gold medal figure skater Brian Boitano celebrates 6'1", today. That's a judging thing. It's a joke. Bob Odenkirk is 62. Who is he, Tom?
Wrestler.
He was Saul on Breaking Bad and Better Off Saul. He used to actually write for SNL back in the day. Jeff Goldblum turns 72 today.
He's the guy from Full House, right?
The Fly.
There you go. He's a survivor. He made it through becoming the Fly. Several trips to Jurassic Park and Independence Day. It's kind of a wonder he's alive. He was also Zeus recently in a canceled show. And Christopher Lloyd turns 86 today. Tom, who is he?
Back to the Future.
That's right. He played Doc in Back to the Future and Kevin. Those are the birthdays and the things that happened on this day in history.
Awesome. Giving a shout out to Jack Tyler this morning, listening, and sent me a private message. Hasn't been able to listen. Listen on your phone.
There
you can listen on your phone.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere. Take it anywhere you go. All right, still to come, Trump talks about FEMA. We'll get to that in just a second. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by WWRV times3.com, 988-0392. 3 RV parks in Carlsbad. If you're looking for a quiet place, affordable, quiet place to rest, if you're working in Carlsbad, they've got 162 RV hookups, 30 and 50 amps available. That includes high-speed internet. They're also pet-friendly and very well lit up. More information available, 988-0392, or go to WWRV times3.com. We're going to stay in the 80s throughout the rest of the week. 86 today and sunny skies, clear tonight, 55. 86 tomorrow, and then 88 coming up on Thursday. We got to get to the national anthem and the pledge. KWMW Maljamar, 105.1 FM, better known as W105. National anthem and the pledge being brought to you by Rebecca Long. She has been your farmer's agent since she was 19 years of age when she started her business. 40-plus years later, she's still helping people. You can find her 226 West Vega in Hobbs, or just call her for a quote, 575-393-2661. Serving Lee, Eddy, and Chaves County. It's times like these that you need an agent that is there for you. So if you're looking for a quote for home, auto, recreational vehicles, commercial insurance, life insurance, Rebecca Long, give her a call, 575-393-2661. Proud sponsor of the national anthem and the pledge on W105.
Good morning. My name is Drew Mosier. Time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
.807. Before we get to the large prayer this morning, Tom, a report of a accident, a crash on Highway 18, mile marker 7, 2 miles south of Jalbs. You can check that out. All north and southbound lanes were closed. Okay. If you can get us an update on that after we do the large prayer. Being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in control.
From Matthew 10 this morning, all men will hate you because of me, but he will stand firm with you, and you will be saved.
This is Ashley with Judah Oil, and I ask that you join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who've trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
8:08, we're going to get updated with news coming up next. And Mike Harrington coming up in just a second. Sheriff of Chaves County will be talking about flooding and the recovery effort. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by Fence Country Market. You can find them in Artesia. Split fryer breast on sale right now, $1.49 a pound. Center cut pork chops. Family pack, $2.49 a pound. And you can get delicious red apples, Granny Smith apples, 99 cents a pound. And russet potatoes, 5-pound bag for $1.99. And from the grocery department, get Panhandle Pure Water, 24-pack, 16.9 ounces, 3 for $10. Find those specials and more. And don't forget, today is Taco Tuesday going on at Finn's Country Market. Check of the weather this morning, calling for 88 for the high today, 86 for the high today, sunny skies, 55 tonight, 87 tomorrow, 88 coming up on Thursday. Let's get you updated with all the news being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm. Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300. Call Luke Ragsdale today. Injured in the oil field, Luke Ragsdale settling a case for over $10 million, $9 million medical malpractice case. Also selling car accidents, slip and falls, personal injuries cases. Call Luke Ragsdale. Go to the website, ragsdalelawfirm.com. We're coming right back. Let's give you a chance to qualify for the cash on W105.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 2 weeks to Election Day, 15 million Americans have voted already, and early voting starts today in 4 more states.
It's time to stand up and save your country.
Former President Trump there addressing faith leaders in North Carolina. Vice President Harris says Trump won't have as many people holding him back this time if he wins.
The Supreme Court essentially told the former president he will be immune from anything he does in office.
She was in Wisconsin, one of 3 events with former House Republican Liz Cheney. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in Israel.
Hezbollah says it launched dozens of rockets into Israel just hours ahead of Secretary of State Blinken's arrival here to push for a ceasefire and a peace deal.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tel Aviv. An Israeli military base was targeted near there. America's listening to Fox News.
There's free Halloween specials this week at Bob's Ridgeway, like center cut pork chops, just $2.49 a pound. Chuck roast, $5.99 a pound. Get split fryer breast, $1.49 a pound. A new crop of apples and produce at 99 cents a pound, and russet potatoes, 5-pound bag, just $1.99. Get your jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, just $3.99 each, and big specials on all of your Halloween treats and candies. And over 150 big grocery specials like Top Ramen, 6-pack. Get 2 of those for just $5. Food Club split white bread, 24-ounce loaf, just $1.58. Get your La yogurts, the 7-ounce, pack of 4 for just $5. Food Club orange juice, 52-ounce, just $3.48. And these are just a few of the big pre-Halloween specials this week at Bob's Ridgeway, where the service and quality still matters and they still carry your groceries out. 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
There is no excuse for not calling 811 before you start your digging project. The call and service are free, and the process is simple. Mark the area where you plan to dig with white paint or white flags. Available at most home shopping centers or hardware stores. Then call 811 2 business days before you start digging. Utility companies will arrive and mark any utilities in or near your digging area. For more information, visit nm811.org. A friendly reminder sponsored by your community partner, Zia Natural Gas Company.
If you need an aggressive, experienced personal injury attorney who is honest and true, you need to get the Gorilla.
So I'm 23 years old. I worked at a warehouse, and I took an injury which caused the amputation of my right leg. I was approached by a specific firm, and they turned my case down within 5 minutes. I was told to come visit the Gorilla Law Firm, and immediately they saw potential in my case. And I tell you what, Gorilla Law Firm had my back when no one else did. The Gorilla Law Firm made me a multi-millionaire. And if you're injured, you call the Gorilla Law Firm too.
The Gorilla Law Firm, 3130 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-964-2720.
Working for the GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility in Hobbs is not going to be anything like you see on reality TV. The true reality of the GEO Group start at $20 an hour with no training. The GEO Group will pay you while you're trained to be a corrections officer. You get a 90-day $1,000 sign-on bonus, and then you get another $1,000 bonus upon certification completion. The GEO Group is proud to offer a community setting built for true rehabilitation through structured living and an incredible staff. Join the family today. GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility. Apply online at jobs.geogroup.com or call Jade at 575-392-4055. GEO Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for amazing deals on your next vehicle? Come to Tate Branch Auto Group, the original home with a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's Ram Power Days. Get 15% off 2024 Ram 1500s with rates as low as 0 to 0.9% for 72 months on select models. Now is your chance to drive the truck of your dreams for less. Or how about tackling the wild with a rugged Jeep Gladiator? Get 10% off or financing as low as 2.9% for 72 months. Ready for any adventure? The hail of a sale is still going on. These vehicles are fixed, priced to move, and waiting for you. No need to head to Texas for a great deal. Find us across the street from Texas Roadhouse. We're the dealership with the 2 big ramps. Don't wait. Head to Tate Branch Auto Group in Hobbs today for the best deals on your next ride. 4123 North Lovington Highway.
Hey, are those the new staff shirts we've been waiting on?
Yes, and no.
What do you mean?
Well, they're supposed to be, but I went through one of those big online places promising lowest price point and fastest turnaround. Well, it was cheap and kind of fast, and they look awful. And after being on hold for an hour to speak with someone, they said it was the artwork provided, and there's nothing they could do.
Let me guess. One of those upload your logo places?
Yes, exactly. Now I've got boxes of shirts that we can't use.
You need to call Awesome Graphics.
The local place I hear on the radio? Can they handle an order this big?
Of course. That's the great thing about Awesome Graphics. They have the technology and equipment the big guys have, but they're here in southeast New Mexico. So not only are you keeping your money local, you have real local people who care about getting your order right. Plus, they can handle your signage, company-branded pencils and cups, and so much more.
What about FR jackets with our company logo embroidered
embroidered on.
Yep, those two. Stop by and see them at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs. Or, since you like online, go to their convenient local website, myawesomegraphics.com.
Myawesomegraphics.com, huh? They really are the best of both worlds.
I want to give your soul a wake-up call.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Now, is there anyone else who doesn't listen to us?
I'm going to need a gun.
Be in the Breakfast Club.
You sick bastard! Look at this! This is a wake-up call, all right? Fine, I got it. Done.
Another day in paradise. We are beyond the Breakfast Club, 816. He's on the phone with us, Mike Harrington, Sheriff of Chaves County.
He is
Mike,
He is not on the phone with us.
He is not on the phone with us.
We've been trying to get a hold of him, and he hasn't answered his phone. And so Tom is trying to get it.
Probably in a meeting. We'll see if we can.
I'm sure he's
Hello?
working on some stuff.
Tom and Blake look like psychopath girlfriends trying to track down their boyfriend.
Yeah.
I've been watching them.
Buddy.
Good job.
Ah,
Good
we
job.
just keep rolling.
So
Not a big deal.
Tom is trying to get a secondary number for it right now. He's talking to his assistant, and so
all right.
Or we will get the undersheriff if we don't.
Or we'll get the undersheriff. He can come on and talk to us. Idaho man set the Guinness World Book of Records blowing playing card 33 feet in a single breath. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Blowing a single blowing card 33 feet with a single breath. Like that. 33 feet. Unbelievable. There's a joke somewhere, but I'm going to skip it.
Right.
New Zealand airport posted a sign in its drop-off zone asking passengers and their drivers to limit their farewell hugs to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And is 3 minutes just enough?
No.
By the way, Gen Zers are very concerned over the 3 minute limit.
Oh.
3 minutes.
Do they need a hug?
I'm leaving, and I just need a hug. 3 minutes is not enough. U.S. Postal Service reached a tentative agreement with 200,000 members at the Mail Carriers Union. And one of the big wins for the workers, new vehicles that will have AC. All units will have AC. But if you're dropping off the mail, is the AC going to help?
It seems like the windows would be down all the time. But
yeah, well, that window on the wherever they're delivering the mail on the passenger side,
right,
would be down. But
you know, I think it actually would help because I mean, you think about around here, right?
Yeah.
In the summertime when it's 100 degrees outside, even if you have the window down,
yeah,
if you have the air conditioner on, it like down on like your legs and your feet. That would definitely help to keep you cool.
Remember back in the day when the mail carriers walked?
Yeah.
Some of them still do in some places, in some cities. They still walk. Looks like third season of Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. If you haven't got into it, you got 3 seasons to catch up on. But third season back on. You never watched Lincoln Lawyer?
No. I've never even heard of it till right now.
Is it on Apple? Is it on Apple TV?
Lincoln Lawyer was a book, and then they turned Lincoln Lawyer into a Netflix. But I mean, I started with the books years ago, and it was series of books.
Yeah, I've seriously never heard of it.
So Lincoln Lawyer, I'm looking for the author. Lincoln Lawyer. I don't need anything about the series. I want the book.
Right.
Thank you, Google, for helping me out. Michael Conley, who also wrote about Harry Bosch.
Yeah.
Remember Harry Bosch?
Yep.
So they also turned that into a TV series, Harry Bosch. And so Lincoln Lawyer is part of that. Lincoln Lawyer, the guy that portrays the Lincoln Lawyer is actually Harry Bosch's not stepbrother. It's his half brother They shared the same father. Evidently, the father got around.
Huh.
Yeah. So Lincoln Lawyer back on Netflix. All right, 877-396-W105, on the Breakfast Club. Tom, you found anything about that accident, or you're probably on the phone trying to get the sheriff?
I was trying to get the sheriff on, so I'm looking into that.
So that's all I did see that on Facebook. So that was on one of those sites that alerts you about accidents. We can get more information.
Now, we had one earlier that it might have been the same one. But here's Mike Harrington just called me. Let me get him on the line to have him call us.
Well, tell him I'm going to call him.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk about the FEC. Says Kamala Harris raised over triple what Donald Trump did in September. And I always love when the liberals say, oh, no, the Democrats are the party of the working class. No, they're not. Democratic Party and Donald Trump cares about those billionaires more than he does the little people. No, he doesn't. The Democratic Party is the party of the elites nowadays. And the Republican Party is fastly becoming the party of the working men and women.
That is so true.
Yeah. And the woman served by Donald Trump at McDonald's drive-thru, remember I said yesterday, she said, let's make America American again. She's actually Brazilian.
That's awesome.
And came to America, and I knew she was Hispanic. Is Brazil part of? Would that make her Hispanic?
Yeah, because I mean it's a location.
Yeah,
It's a Latin country.
And,
Yeah,
and
she's
Kevin,
Latin.
we do have Sheriff Mike Harrington on the line whenever you are ready.
All right, Sheriff, how are you doing?
I am doing real good. How are you doing today?
Glad that you are okay. I know it is your job to go rescue people, but glad that you are okay. How quick did that water come up, and did it catch people by surprise?
So yes, nobody expected what occurred. Everybody, in Roswell, when it rains, it floods up to the curbs all the time.
Yes.
So that's something that we were expecting, but not to the extent that this happened. And when it did happen, people just, like I said, most people aren't getting the radio broadcast that this type of water is coming towards them, or even already there. It's not until it starts going into your house, or you're taking a route that you normally take, and the next thing you know, you're caught in the middle of a water rushing across the roadway, or already 2 or 3 feet of water.
Right.
So that's and the other issues that came up is the areas that really flooded the most were outside of the normal areas, which is down by the base and most of the western side of Roswell, but not to the west that it did happen, and the path that it took right through the center of town. So that was shocking as well, and the damage that has been done is unbelievable. People who were not even in their cars, but because their cars were covered in water up to the doors and even over some of them, the cars are ruined. They just will not start. And so they've lost not only their cars, but as the water went in their house, had 2 feet to 3 feet of water inside of their houses. Just the damage that's done. And I see it on the faces of the people even today. We went yesterday and drove around again, and people have all their stuff outside of their home, and they're just
devastated.
And it's just not just 1 or 2 houses. It is so many houses and so many businesses that it's just devastating to see. But luckily enough, we had very few people pass away in this. And we have had some, and our condolences go out to the families.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you, it's a miracle that we didn't have more fatalities.
Sheriff, what kind of damage did the valley get?
So the valley, especially Dexter, was underwater, pretty much 2 and 3 feet of water everywhere. So I was talking during our conference yesterday with the governor. They said at least in just one area over 100 houses were affected, and that's just in that one area. So that's not counting the rest of them that are coming forward. So it's got to be 150 more just in that area. But I got to experience not only being the person who usually is the rescuer, but I got to experience being the victim. And I'm going to tell you, it opened my eyes to what the people who are waiting for you and praying for you and really and truly just they see the lights and they're like, oh, here they come, and whenever they don't come, it's tough.
Frightening.
So you were actually on top of your truck and water was above the windows?
Yeah, so it actually came up to and was going into my truck. And so as I was coming down McGaffey, the water was tolerable. I was able to continue driving because I've been driving in it the entire night. I had been out helping people all over Roswell, and actually even kept people from going into some places that would stop. Some people would just drive around you and they would get wiped out from the water as well. But once I started going to another location, I was going down McGaffey. As soon as I got to McGaffey and Wyoming, the water became deep going down McGaffey. We couldn't go any farther down McGaffey. Mm-hmm. So I then turned on to Wyoming, seemed just fine going along. As soon as I got to Bland and Wyoming, the water was a rolling river.
Mm.
And it just picked my truck up, and it actually took me over the curb there, and I didn't feel no curb or anything, and went over, and it carried me out about almost 60 yards is what I estimate, out into the parking lot there at Stiles Field, and then it was up to my mirrors on my truck.
Mm.
And as soon as I got stopped, I had two older people, a man and his wife, came right up and hit the side of my truck. They were floating through the water, and they were able to climb up on the back of my truck with a box that they had that had their puppies from their house. They said their house was flooding, and they had to get out. And then that's whenever they came out, and the water just caught them and caught them and took them into that. So
thank goodness you were there for them.
Yes, that was a blessing for that.
Yeah.
And then just a few minutes later, not even a few minutes, seconds later, my unit was hit by an unmanned boat. That unmanned fishing boat. It hit the front, turned real in the current, slammed the back of my truck, then went around the back of it, breaking out my taillight, and then it was gone. So when we were out there and were able to recover my vehicle, we did locate the boat down the road, and it went through some people's fences, but the crazy part was it was still on its trailer.
Wow.
So
someone's driveway.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
wow, Sheriff.
No, it was actually in their backyard. It wasn't even theirs. It just was on a trailer. So when it was floating around and it hit my truck, it was actually on a trailer at that time.
Mm.
Wow.
So that's the crazy part, is how strong that water
sure is.
Is, and people underestimate that. And so then as we were driving around, we seen the Connex boxes, and if you know how heavy a Connex box is, the 40-foot one is leaned up on a tree and crushing cars.
My goodness.
And just moved
Yeah,
around.
I saw
by the
that
water.
picture. I saw that picture of that metal container. I
Yeah.
mean, that metal, the
railroad. They're like the ones that come over on shipping boats. Yeah. So those are what we call the Connex
unbelievable.
box.
It was tipped over, and
and multiple. They were in that area. Same way another one on the other block had a car crushed up against a tree, and So it's just amazing the power of water.
Yes.
And we underestimate that. Even just a little bit of water, if it takes your feet away, you're gone. And that's some of the things that have happened in our community, and we mourn for those people. And
yes.
And but I will say that one thing that I do know is that Chaves County comes together, and the law enforcement agencies, the fire, the medical, the National Guard, the dispatchers, all these civilian, the Jeep, I can't think of what their name is, but there's a group that's with a whole bunch of Jeeps.
Yeah, it's a Jeep.
Yeah,
Rope and
Southwest
Rescue.
Jeeps, I think.
Yeah, I think that, rope and rescue guys, and they came out, and I mean, people were out trying to help people and get people out of a situation that I'm going to tell you, because I was there. It is scary, because I thought my truck was going to tip over, and you may be able to swim, but whenever you look up and you see an air compressor tank coming towards you, and it's moving like a missile. I've seen it hit the side of my truck. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But once the National Guard came in, and they had the big deuce and a halves and things like that, they were able to come to the area that I was at, and it was such a blessing to see them. But it was also good to see the other people, because they were freezing to death. Even though you're on top of your car and you're up there, you're already wet, it's raining, and it was cold. It was cold. And so we're just thankful for everybody. And then now the communities come together, but I also want to throw out there that the other surrounding counties and other counties that are farther away offered their assistance, and we utilized some of them. The sheriff's departments were coming around. We actually had Lincoln County deputies here in town assisting us with calls. Eddy County and Lee County offered their assistance as well, and they were on standby if we needed it from their sheriff's office. Same thing with some of the other counties around us, and everybody was so helpful. And it's good to see how good people are.
Yes.
And that's what we see.
Yeah, it's always a shame that it takes a tragedy to understand how good people generally are.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Hey, Mike, we had a question on US 285 on that bridge. What's the situation with that? Because I know a lot of people have to detour on State 2, but what's the update on that so far?
So as of right now, because there is a pretty good chunk missing out of the southbound traffic lane, they have the engineers there. They're making sure that everything is good for the northbound lane. And talking yesterday, it sounds like they may open up the northbound lane for both north and south in that area to just as so when you go across the bridge, and then you'll come back onto the normal southbound lane.
Okay.
But that is something that they're just reluctant to do as of now, just because of the they don't know what the other side of the bridge is capable of handling. So that's the fear. If one section is gone like that, it had to have taken an impact, and the whole thing is together.
It looked like part of the footing for that bridge was
not intact either. Yeah.
No, it looked like the water just beat the heck out of it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're doing, and we do have. I put it up on my Facebook page, a website for it's the community for Chaves County only, a donation site for people to donate money. We are asking that if you want to donate, that it be monetary donations, because right now we don't have any place to store clothes or furniture or anything like that. We could get your number and have that information, and then if somebody needs something, we can go and pick it up from your house. But we don't have any place really right now to store physical possessions. Everything is either soaking wet or not capable of doing it. But Yeah, I just see everybody's coming together, and if we can give a little bit of money to help out some of these people, because I'm telling you, I'm looking at their faces, and they have no cars, they have no house, they have
It's
nothing.
complete devastation.
Now, Sheriff, I know that the Red Cross is handling the shelter there at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, but I had some people with some large companies contact about that. What is the situation there?
So we do have on the night that this was all happening, and they had picked me up in the that Deuce and a Half. I made a call to get the fairgrounds opened. I called Leslie from the fairgrounds out there, and she made arrangements, and we got it opened up immediately. And because we were taking everybody to the sheriff's office, but the numbers were getting so big that my training room, along with the command post for the flooding, it just couldn't handle it anymore. So I got a hold of her, got that all opened up, and she was fantastic. She got things. The fair and the fair board has, or the fair board people with that area out there has always been good, but we just didn't know what the condition was of the commercial building, so that we actually used their hall behind their new building there, and it holds quite a few people. So they came to us in the moment of need immediately. Contacted Pastor Troy for his place out there, and they were without running water and I believe electricity there for a while, so it wasn't accessible. So our normal places that we use, like during the Ruidoso evacuation, because of the water affecting everything in a lot of those places, we didn't have available. Waymaker Church, some of these other places that were also underwater, and these are guys that come forward for us in every event, but those structures were also.
And you couldn't use a convention center either because it was underwater too, right, Sheriff?
Yes, it was underwater. As a matter of fact, I was told that the people there who were doing a quinceañera, they had to get up on the roof.
Oh my goodness!
So
yeah, I mean, right there was terrible. The car dealer right there was just it was just,
and that's where,
it was just terrible.
That's where we lost. That's where we lost some people. They went off into the bridge, into the canal. So, but cars were going in there. We found more cars in there yesterday from down by the zoo. Just lots of stuff that, man, I just would have never in my imagination thought that could happen.
Has the zoo said they lost animals?
I was talking to him yesterday during our deal. I believe that none were missing. They said that they possibly won, but at the time they couldn't even confirm that. So, but that was a blessing for that as well.
Sheriff, what did the governor say yesterday? What kind of disaster relief is she going to provide for us down there?
So like the first thing that she came out and said was, she is ready to help us with whatever funds she has available to her, within her reach. But the things that have to go through FEMA and go through the federal government, those are the things that she really doesn't have a lot of power to do anything in that area, and it does take time to get done. But she is pushing that. She signed the orders yesterday to that she needed, that were necessary to send to the federal government to get it started there. But she did say that immediately $1 million was available for use, and she also offered free trash services for those who are cleaning up, and she said that they will take care of that, and the city and everybody was on board with all of that stuff. So there was a lot of things that she's ready to get done, and but until FEMA and some of these other federal agencies come in with the deeper pockets, if you want to call it that, that have more money, and I believe they're asking for over $5 million right now. I can't remember what the exact number was, but I know it was somewhere in that area. And just at the initial phase, that's not counting what people are going to be putting in for their other plans
disaster
and everything
relief.
else.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
Disaster relief.
Well, with what you've seen and what you've described, that damage could be in the billions with a B.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable what water can do. And I've just going down the roads, and seeing people, everyone's out trying to start their cars in those areas, and their cars are just not working. And they were.
No, I mean, nowadays with computers, that
Yeah.
water hits that computer, it's done.
It's done.
Sad
And
but
that's
true.
what. And I got mine out of the water, my unit out of the water. It did start up, but it is clicking and all kinds of issues. So I just don't know. But I was driving mine, and they said, if you're driving it and it goes out, it's really bad. And I wouldn't have thought because the older cars that I'm used to having, you could do everything to those things and they would be fine. But these
Yeah,
newer
you dry
cars,
'em
all the
out.
computer technology, and so like you said, but there's so many people who are hurting, and not just for just now. It's going to be a long time. It's
going to be
It's going to be a while.
Well,
Sheriff
especially if FEMA is involved, it's going to be a long time.
Well, they have to deal with North Carolina, Florida, and everybody else over there.
Well, and that was the thing that she said yesterday, that they have so many things that are going on, and it just takes forever for the federal government to act on anything. That it could be a long time.
So basically, we're going to have to step up and do this ourselves, kind of, for now. Sure.
Yeah, and that's why we're asking for the people to help with donations, and
directly
they can go directly to these people, and and we've just seen it. We've seen other people from other counties coming in and helping, and it's just a good thing to see people helping people, and that's the way it should be.
I agree. Sheriff Harrington, there are a couple of texters that have some questions for you. Do you mind answering a few of them? Okay.
No, go ahead.
They want to know, for the people that can't find their cars, is there a number that they can call to find out if their car has been located?
Yes. So they can contact the Chaves County Sheriff's Office at 575-624-6500. And what we will do is we will check with the tow companies. If they give us the information of the vehicle that they are missing, we will check with the tow companies. We will check with, because even if the cars were lost, and like the ones that are in the beds down there, we did get license plates and we did get other information off of those vehicles. So we will be able to give information like that. It may take us a few moments once they give us that information for us to see if we can find it, but we will do everything we can to try to help them find their stuff.
Okay, perfect. And another one is asking, you may have already touched on it, but a few of them asked, how is the Pecos River?
Oh, it's flowing, and it's pretty much like I said, in some areas it has just taken over. I'm glad you mentioned that, because down on River Road where we were at, people were the river's just overflowing, and those people down there were just underwater as well, in some areas, and cars were underwater. So it's going to take a while for I believe the river and everything else to catch up with what is going on. And they did make it clear yesterday that the levees did not break, they just overflowed. It got so much rain, it was just an overflow on the levees. And the best way to think about that is, you fill your bathtub up too full and go to sit down in it, and all of a sudden all the water comes over at one time. That's how I've been describing it to people. That's happened to me as well.
Okay.
So,
a few more. Do you have another number for people to contact to find their missing pets?
Their missing pets?
Uh-huh.
You know what? Let me, if they caught, because I do have the animal control guys with me, we could probably do the same thing on that at the sheriff's office. if any information comes through, I can get with my animal control officers and see if we have picked up anything else. But I have not heard of any of us going out and picking up any extra, even the city going out and picking up any extra animals during this thing.
Last one. There are people who want to donate baby stuff, clothes, and things like that. Aside from monetary donations, where can they go to drop off and donate those things?
So right now, one of the things that they were asking yesterday is they would like to get numbers to be able to call to say, hey, now we do have somebody who needs that. Okay. But if they want to actually take it somewhere, the Salvation Army or the Goodwill is setting up I think they got it set up yesterday, where they will take it and are not going to charge for people who were they were impacted by the flood. Okay. So, but those are things that right now. So what we're asking is if they can contact us, give us phone numbers for that, that if something comes up and we do need those items, because we just don't have any real true place to store them other than Goodwill or Salvation Army.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff. We appreciate you, Mike, and best of luck. This is going to be a long recovery.
It really is. But, with everybody helping neighbors and helping out, it's going to be okay. And that's one thing, I just keep telling everybody, it's going to be okay. We've gotten through things, and when we all come together, it's going to be okay.
Right.
There you
go. Hey, Sheriff, probably check with you again later in the week.
Or early next week, one of the two.
Yeah, please call me, and you guys can call me. And like I said, I apologize about yesterday. We've just had so many things going on.
I can only imagine.
Coming in, and so we just, every time we turn around, we're like, okay, the governor's going to be here at this time, and then it was, well, it's got to be postponed. She couldn't get in for whatever reason, and finally it happened, and it was good. And I really believe that she was sincere in getting things done, and because she actually got to go and see the devastation, and there's just no way you cannot be wanting to give everything you got to help people, in that situation. So it's okay, but we'll get through it.
I agree.
It's going to be all right. All right.
I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, you bet. Bye.
Have a good one. All right, we're going to check the weather. We'll get updated with news. We'll come back, do the boob of the day. We got good news of the day. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on. Be on the Breakfast Club with W105, 12 away from 9. Morning show being brought to you by Janko Janitorial, 324 West Main. And Artesia, full-service janitorial company. If you need commercial-grade janitorial supplies, they have got you covered. Go to the website, jancojanitorial.com, 575-703-1869. If you need them to do all the cleaning, they do commercial cleaning, they do industrial, and they do office cleaning and oil-field cleaning. So get in touch with them today, 575-703-1869. Call Amber this morning or go to the website, jancojanitorial.com. We're coming right back. Checking in with news. We're W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Bob Swiftway in Lovington presenting the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
MTD Radio News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Get the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovart. 2 people have been confirmed killed and more than 300 people were rescued after heavy rains brought intense flooding to Roswell and the surrounding areas over the weekend, cutting off the city and other nearby communities as multiple roads and bridges were washed out or closed. The governor arrived in Roswell Monday to make an assessment and declared a state of emergency for Chavez County, making $1 million in state funds available for flooding response and recovery efforts. The Roswell Air Center also reopened at 11 a.m. Monday with flights back on schedule. Residential trash pickup for Tuesday will move to Wednesday, and residents are asked to place flood debris from their properties at the curb. A grappler truck will collect it. Roswell Transit is offering free rides along its bus routes for the next few days. The following city facilities are closed until further notice: the Recreation and Aquatic Center, Adult Center, Spring River Zoo, Public Library, Museum, Convention Center, Nancy Lopez Golf Course, and South Park Cemetery. Green Salt Products is moving into Phase 2 with a U.S. Department of Energy submission to build a $349 million depleted uranium processing plant near Hobbs. The company plans to employ as many as 200 people when operating at full capacity. GSP plans to operate the plant about 10 miles west of Hobbs in the same place International Isotopes had proposed in 2007 for a deconversion facility. And the Hobbs Public Library will celebrate Dia de los Muertos 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Thursday in the Hobbs Public Library meeting room by hosting a Sugar Skull decorating time. All materials will be provided, and the activity is geared towards those over 18 years old. But for those younger, in the 6th to 12th grade age range, the library is holding Teen-tober through October 31st. Teens can participate in a bookshelf scavenger hunt, a reading challenge, and win prizes. The Hobbs Public Library is located at 509 North Ship Street in Hobbs. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Family of Excellence at Lucky Services, Lucky Rental Tool, Lucky Health and Safety, and TRM Trucking encourage you to vote. If you can't make it to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, vote early. But be sure to vote. This year's election will be one of the closest and most consequential in our nation's history. So every vote matters. Thank you for voting and praying for our country and its leaders from the Lucky Family of Excellence. And God bless America.
Calling all clay shooters. Join us for the 3rd annual Freedom Isn't Free Sporting Clay Shoot, including a cornhole tournament at Creekside Clays in Artesia, New Mexico, November 2nd. Come support conservative Republican Harlan Vincent, who will continue to fight for your freedoms. Thank you to main event sponsors Prestige Equipment Rentals and Power Systems and WX. Early registration and sponsorship still available at harlanvincentfornm.com. For more information, call Rhonda at 575-937-1475. That's 575-937-1475.
There's pre-Halloween specials this week at Bob's Ritway. Like center cut pork chops, just $2.49 a pound. Chuck roast, $5.99 a pound. Get split fryer breast, $1.49 a pound. A new crop of apples and produce at 99 cents a pound. And russet potatoes, 5-pound bag, just $1.99. Get your jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, just $3.99 each. And big specials on all of your Halloween treats and candies. And over 150 big grocery specials like Top Ramen, 6-pack. Get 2 of those for just $5. Food Club split white bread, 24-ounce loaf, just $1.58. Get your La yogurts, the 7-ounce, pack of 4 for just $5. Food Club orange juice, 52-ounce, just $3.48. And these are just a few of the big pre-Halloween specials this week at Bob's Ritway, where the service and quality still matters, and they still carry your groceries out. 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us. Short on wind, long on opinion.
And I'm going to mispronounce. I'm not going to try.
B and the Breakfast Club.
Another day, another 55-cent. Donald Trump in North Carolina yesterday. We'll hear from him. Boob of the day on the way. Good news of the day. Text line is open. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror and Grooming Tool. Can't forget the grooming tool for you guys. ×1, ×5, ×10. Magnification. LED lights. Travel's easy. You can take it anywhere. It comes in a traveling case. Weighs less than 4 pounds. Talk to them about their wall mount version. You can buy either mirror today. Just go online at atlasmakeupmirror.com or 575-631-3189. Call Rebecca Long today. Tom on the text.
Okay, so we've got lots of people texting in about, of course, that. But we need to remember water created the Grand Canyon, says Gretchen. That shows the power of water. Still talking about what's going on in Roswell. The Pecos River east of Artesia was overflowing this morning when I passed it at 5 a.m.
I bet it was.
Yeah, most of those were. Let me scroll down. Prayers to all those folks affected by the flooding. How can people help? We went over that one.
We do have a phone call we can take real quick.
Okay,
Why don't
we
do
can
that?
go to a phone
All right,
call.
let's go to the call, and then we'll come back here from Donald Trump in North Carolina.
Good morning. Oh, no, they're gone. So we
All
don't have a phone call.
All right, here's Donald Trump in North Carolina. Then he'll talk about FEMA. Well, I thought I had Donald Trump. It is a war of getting technology to work this morning.
Is it number 10?
Yeah, number 9. Number 9. When it sits too long and then I go back to it, it doesn't want to.
I got you.
Here.
Well, I'll just say, as the Speaker of the State House, I've not gotten a single call from the White House, but this man and his team have been in touch with us from day one. And, Mr. President, I appreciate that and looking forward to seeing you back in the White House. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
So, what the North Carolina Speaker is saying, he hasn't gotten one call from the White House.
Nope.
But got plenty of calls from Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump talked about FEMA. And the question was, FEMA's taking a lot of heat right now. Donald Trump's the type of guy where if you don't do your job, you get fired.
Right.
Listen to what he said.
Trump, an armed gunman was arrested and charged with making threats against FEMA workers 2 Saturdays ago. FEMA had a safety stand down because of continued credible threats. Is it helping the recovery effort in North Carolina to keep making these claims that FEMA's not doing their job?
Well, I think you have to let people know how they're doing. If they were doing a great job, I think we should say that too, because I think they should be rewarded. But if they're not doing, does that mean that if they're doing a poor job, we're supposed to not say it? These people are entitled to say it. And these are honest people behind this. If FEMA were doing well, they would be saying they did a good job. They're not, for the most part, political people. For the most part, they're not political people. But you've obviously seen nothing but, very bad statements coming out about the job that FEMA and this administration has done, having to do with this area, North Carolina as a whole. And by the way, other states also. They're also.
So FEMA has done a poor job. And can you imagine? I think you can probably imagine. Some of you listening have experienced losing everything. So this guy threatens a FEMA official who is on the ground in North Carolina. He was arrested. So the reporter says, is it helpful to talk bad about FEMA? Donald Trump answered that. Donald Trump also answered, where's the money from FEMA?
Well, I would be in favor of it. Yeah, this is a very unusual situation, and I would be in favor of it. Now, in theory, they're supposed to have it, but they spent a lot of money on bringing illegal migrants, people that came into our country illegally, and taking them in, and all of the money they've spent, numbers that nobody can even believe. So they don't have any money for the people that live here that got hit by one of the worst storms, possibly the worst storm ever, but one of the worst storms in the history of our country. And it's a shame because they should have the money. They spent money that I don't believe they're supposed to be spending for that, as you know. So I think it's a disgrace what happened with FEMA. what's happened with their rescue effort. Their rescue effort was almost non-existent.
So why are FEMA dollars being spent to house people that came here from another country?
Really good question.
I mean, look, FEMA dollars are supposed to be for emergencies.
Right. Federal Emergency Management.
So hopefully Donald Trump, when he's elected president, can figure this out. For the first time ever in the history of America, we started putting people up at five-star hotels, giving them money. Now, it's one thing to feed people. It's a total different thing to give them $1,000 a month.
Well, I got news. If they're truly hungry, we already have social things in place to feed the hungry.
Amen. For whatever reason, we decided to take money from FEMA and divert it to other people. It's crazy. And FEMA, I guarantee you, when it comes time for Roswell, they're going to say they're out of money.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
have to hold. And this is why we need local Southeast New Mexico leaders going to Washington, D.C. We have zero representation at this point.
Right.
I did see
Go ahead.
Martin Heinrich saying that, he's available if anybody needs help. Please get in touch with his office.
Oh, he won't go unless somebody's paying him.
Right.
He's all for the
I'm just
Benjamin.
going to be honest. I have never seen Martin Heinrich in Southeast New Mexico.
No.
Only when he campaigned.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
So, Jennifer Gardner is teaming up with Tim Walz' wife in Nevada. Talk about a pair of yahoos. The Jen and Gwen show.
Oh, my gosh.
So, congrats. And I used to think Jennifer Gardner was very, very attractive. Team her up with Gwen Walz. This is going to be quite interesting. And Whoopi Goldberg is very upset with Elon Musk.
She'll get over it.
Oh, okay.
She's very upset on The View yesterday.
Does she know anything
very
about
upset
tech?
with him giving away $1 million a day until Election Day.
I'm sorry, but if she doesn't have the intellectual ability to do tech things like he does, then according to her own argument, she shouldn't be able to criticize that.
And by the way, she believes that it's probably illegal. I would think that Elon Musk had his attorneys look into this, and it's not illegal to sign a petition.
It's going to be random when he gives away the $1 million.
Right.
And so by you signing the petition doesn't guarantee anything. So it's just a random thing. It's like if you said, Kevin, we're going to have this thing where on the radio, if you call in, we're going to put your name in to qualify.
Yeah.
And then we're going to give away some money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's called the cash blowout. And so, no, that's not illegal.
Yeah, he's given away $2 million so far.
Yeah.
Or is it more?
I hope he draws my name.
Yeah, $3 million so far. Homeland Security deporting the Chinese illegal migrants. Put them on a charter flight and flew them back. Wait, I thought you said you couldn't do it.
Election.
Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas saying the first plane load of Chinese immigrants have been shipped. 131 immigrants shipped home.
Wow. Can you say the election is scaring them?
Yeah, I think that's it. And early voting numbers in Texas, Trump and Cruz lead in the latest poll. Trump leading, not by much, though, in Texas, 51 to 46%. That's still not a lot. I would think that Donald Trump would lead by 70 to 30% in Texas. It's a different world we live in. Texas is not as red as it used to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the boob of the day. We'll come back, get to things that we will come back and get to the text line. We still have good news of the day. Boob of the day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. They've got you covered with natural remedies. Natural remedies. That's the way they treat you. Stem cell therapy is natural. Ozone therapy is natural. Cryotherapy chamber, it's natural. And all three of them can help you if you're living in pain. If you are living in back pain, stem cell therapy will help you. If you're living with back pain, they do something called the ozone therapy. They take ozone, which is a gas, and inject it into your spine. I've had it done. It helps. It also works for pretty much everywhere. Your knees, your hips. Go in there and talk to them. They also do hormonal optimization. If you're going through menopause, premenopause, go talk to them. Hormonal optimization, testosterone replacement therapy. They offer this for guys. Visit them, 3900 North Lovington Highway, 575-964-8025. Proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
So your 12-year-old niece isn't the only one who would lie, cheat, and steal to see Taylor Swift. 44-year-old man in Florida, of course, got arrested on Friday for posing as a security guard to get into the Taylor Swift show near Miami. Tom, take a lesson. His name is Ivan Mariotti. Actually, security guards called the police after they saw him down near the floor. So, pretty good seats. He was in a suit with a badge around his neck, and he told the cops he'd been hired by 4 women to escort them to the Eras Tour show. But he didn't have a ticket. So cops talked to the women, who confirmed they did pay him to drive them there, but they didn't hire him for security and didn't know why he had a badge. He's listed as a rideshare driver in the police report. He's facing charges for impersonating an officer and interfering with a sporting or entertainment event. Wow. For that, you are the Boob of the Day.
Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Breaking news this morning, Roswell police currently investigating a shooting, a homicide that happened last night shortly after 11 p.m. Roswell Police Department responded to the intersection of Orchard and 3rd. In reference to that shooting, upon arrival, they located the male with at least one gunshot wound to the head. Medics quickly transported the male to the hospital, who died at the scene. It's pretty much all the information, a developing story. This update coming from the Chaves County News Network this morning. And so this is a story that we will try to find out more information. We ever got any more information on that shooting in Hobbs over the weekend?
No.
No.
No, I scoured for releases and stuff yesterday and made some phone calls and got nothing. Nothing.
Nada.
Wow. All right, we're going to get you updated with good news coming up in just a second. We'll give you another chance to qualify for the cash. Already 9:08. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Homegrown and proud of it. Farm and ranch supplies. If you're looking for gates and cattle guards and even plumbing supplies, they have all your plumbing supplies that you need with a full store inside their store. And if you're looking for Purina, they are your certified Purina dealer. Of course, Western Wear and a whole lot more. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, online at roswelllivestock.com. Also in Capitan at the Lincoln County Mercantile. Text line 877-396-W105.
J.R. DePorto is chiming in. He says every state needs an emergency convoy with equipment, supplies, funds, etc., stocked and ready to go for emergencies like this.
Amen.
The feds can give every state $1 billion for the equipment, so that's $50 billion, a lot less than what's being sent to Ukraine.
Amen on that.
And you know, in my opinion, guys, here's
you could store it somewhere in the state,
right?
And that would be ready to go.
And I have an opinion on the $1 million that the governor gave Roswell yesterday.
Yep.
Why don't you give $1 billion, all that oil and gas money we send over there, instead of building abortion centers to kill babies? She can
she spent
send money over here to
$10 million on that
to rebuild our lives down here. $1 million.
It's
please.
Too bad Roswell isn't Texas, or HEB would be there with their convoy.
I'm telling you, man. And another Trump hater says, I can't believe you listen to Trump and to say the truth. Fact find, says the text. And how about
please tell me what he said that was not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell us, give us another example of that.
No, give us an example.
Or an example of that. How about the 2,000 immigrants on their way to the southern border, says this one texter.
I think it's bigger than 2,000. Yeah. They said 2,500, and then the next day they said 5,000. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to beat the clock. They're trying to get here before Donald Trump gets in office. We know day one, Donald Trump is going to put back Remain in Mexico.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I got a message on my Facebook. The city of Alamogordo, through the Mountain View Church disaster team, is putting together a relief effort for the people there in Chaves County and Roswell. They will be feeding the first responders there. Also, if you have any things to drop off, do drop it off only today at 1300 Cuba Avenue there in Alamogordo. Nice. So thank you to those guys down there helping out the effort. B?
All right, good news of the day on the way. We're going to take a break, come right back. We'll talk about a North Dakota woman accused of poisoning her boyfriend. Evidently, she fell out of love with him. Yeah.
Just break up.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah, but there's more to the story. I'll tell you about it coming up next. 9/11 news this morning being brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Over 1,000 guns in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns. Looking for personal protection, lethal or non-lethal personal protection. Find the right gun for you. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. And if you want to sell your guns, they will buy your guns and give you fair pricing. Experts are available. Stop into Zia Guns. Customer satisfaction is guaranteed. 575-622-0023. Or you can visit them, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Stop in today. Closed Saturday. Always open on Sunday at Zia Guns. Coming right back, 912 W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Bob Swiftway in Lovington presenting the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. 2 weeks to Election Day, 15 million Americans have voted already, and early voting starts today in 4 more states.
It's time to stand up and save your country.
Well, President Trump there addressing faith leaders in North Carolina. Vice President Harris says Trump won't have as many people holding him back this time if he wins.
The Supreme Court essentially told the former president he will be immune from anything he does in office.
She was in Wisconsin, one of 3 events with former House Republican Liz Cheney. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in Israel.
Hezbollah says it launched dozens of rockets into Israel just hours ahead of Secretary of State Blinken's arrival here to push for a ceasefire and a peace deal.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tel Aviv. An Israeli military base was targeted near there. America's listening to Fox News.
Coffee Drilling, LLC. They offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling, LLC. Over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice. Lacked Service Company of Hobbs is hiring meter proving technicians. Must possess a valid CDL with hazmat endorsement. Lacked offers company-paid insurance, PTO, vacation, and safety days to qualified employees. Stop by 3521 Industrial Drive in Hobbs today to submit an application, or for more information, contact Michael at 575-370-4604. Lacked Service Company, serving the oil and gas industry since 1969.
Turn up the winning at Casino Apache. Join our $53,200 Super Tuesday slot tournament. Earn entries with your Apache Spirit Club card every Tuesday in October, November, and December. Then enter our slot tournament from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to win up to $800 cash. The $53,200 Super Tuesday slot tournament at Casino Apache. Must be 21 or older. Visit CasinoApacheTravelCenter.com or see Apache Spirit Club booth for details.
In need of a tow?
those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Zia Natural Gas Company reminds everyone that calling 811 at least 2 working days before digging is the law. This law applies to contractors and homeowners alike. If you begin your digging project without first calling 811 to have underground utility lines marked around your dig site, you can be fined and held financially responsible for repairs to damaged utility lines. Even simple projects are not worth the risk. Know what's below. Always call 811 before you dig. This message sponsored by Zia Natural Gas Company.
Calling all clay shooters. Join us for the 3rd annual Freedom Isn't Free Sporting Clay Shoot, including a cornhole tournament at Creekside Clays in Artesia, New Mexico, November 2nd. Come support conservative Republican Harlan Vincent. We'll continue to fight for your freedoms. Thank you to main event sponsors Prestige Equipment Rentals and Power Systems and WX. Early registration and sponsorship still available at harlanvincentfornm.com. For more information, call Rhonda at 575-937-1475. That's 575-937-1475.
This Lovington Wildcat Sports Report is brought to you by Lovington Wellness Center, enhancing lives by improving the quality of life.
Join the Lovington Wellness Center family. More than a gym, it's a community where goals are achieved and exceeded. They offer all-inclusive memberships for families, first responders, and senior citizens at competitive prices. Visit them today and join a cycling class, grab a smoothie, or take a walk on the indoor track. Whatever your goals are, they can help you achieve them at the Lovington Wellness Center, 1625 North Main in Lovington.
Blake Ovard, MTD Radio. We're talking to Lovington head coach Josh Bailey. Coach, you lost a heartbreaker the other night to Gadsden, and you face a tough Deming team coming up. Tell us all about it.
Well, yeah, Blake, Friday night against Gadsden, we just didn't make enough plays. Came up just a little bit short. Thought we didn't play very aggressive and played a little timid in the first half. But we're only down 5 points and came out a little bit stronger in the second half, but just not really still playing the fearless style of football that we were playing at the beginning of the year. And we're trying really hard to get back to that. As we get ready for Deming, another really, really good football team coming in. It's a huge game for us to still give us an opportunity to get where we want to be in the playoffs. And so we're hoping that after a week of preparation, we can get back to playing the style of football that we were playing earlier in the year.
This Lovington Wildcat Sports Report was brought to you by Lovington Wellness Center, 1625 North Main in Lovington.
1, 2, 3, here we go.
You see, this is what happens when you let sick people play with powerful toys.
It's like I've got the winning ticket in my pocket.
Here we go, back to being the Breakfast Club. Be part of the show. 877-396-W105.
Pick up the phone and call me right now.
918 white guys for Kamala. Andy Cohen, also Ben Stiller, and of course the guy that's good with the backhand, Doug Emhoff, all talking about Kamala Harris and urging fathers to vote for Kamala Harris because of abortions. Yeah, vote for Kamala because of abortions.
So is that like saying vote for Kamala so you won't be a father?
Maybe it could be. They went on to say that it's time to show you support your daughters. Well, I support my daughters. I support my daughters having babies and giving me grandkids. Imagine that.
Yeah, because if you support your daughters, you wouldn't have wanted them to be aborted. So why are you supporting them aborting your grandchildren?
That makes zero sense.
Well, maybe fathers should teach their sons not to have sex before they get married.
So much of their argument makes no sense.
What do you think?
It always takes two to tango. I see what you're saying, Tom, but yeah.
Teach your kids not to have.
No, he wants to blame the boys.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
It takes them both. And if the boy is going to get the blame as well, and I'm not saying they're not to blame because they had to do their part.
Yeah, I mean it works both ways.
But if they are going to get blame on this, they also need to get a say so.
Right.
Yep. Looks like funeral home in Poland apologizing. Bodies they were transporting slid out of the back of the hearse, landed right in the traffic.
Oh. That'll wake you up in
you
the
want to
morning.
go out in style or sitting in traffic.
Yeah, that'll wake you up.
Yeah. Is that a body laying there on the side of the road? Yes, I think it was.
Was it in a casket?
Yeah. One of the biggest suppliers of French fries to McDonald's is closing their factory, laying off 400 people. Turns out those $5 value meals with the smallest amount of French fries, could
4 French fries.
Yeah.
So
the demand for French fries is going to be going up, and the prices for French fries probably going up.
If
also.
you get a normal order of French fries, how much is that? That's got to be
$2.
No, I bet you it's way more than
I mean,
because
I go back, and I don't know because I don't go to McDonald's a whole bunch, but remember they were giving that. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a platter of fries.
A basket of fries?
Yeah, a basket of fries, and it was like $1.69 for the basket.
I bet it's not
That's
anywhere
probably
close
way
enough.
up now.
I can tell you
when we were
exactly
at Whataburger last weekend when we were coming back, a medium fry was $3.49.
Ooh,
really?
Yeah, I can tell you right now.
Holy crap-a-moly.
Right. It was as much as a burger, basically.
So we talked about this yesterday, that how much sugar does the average American consume? 36,000 grams of sugar per year, which makes it 80 pounds of sugar.
A lot of sugar,
per
man.
year.
A lot of sugar.
That's a lot of sugar. We wonder why we have an uptick in diabetes. And the story about the poor lady in North Dakota. Yeah, she wanted the money, but she didn't want to spend the money with her boyfriend. Yeah. So the North Dakota woman is now accused of poisoning her boyfriend, will serve 25 years in prison following a guilty plea. Ina Kendor, 48 years old, arrested in North Dakota last October after she was accused of using antifreeze to kill her 51-year-old boyfriend.
Oh, that's painful. At least it tasted sweet.
Yeah. By the way, she is going to have to pay restitution and do jail time. Her boyfriend evidently had got an inheritance. And it was like $30 million. I mean, I'm not getting money like that.
Wow.
But with $30 million, that's life-changing money.
Yeah.
Tom, would $30 million change you?
Well, it's not as far as it used to go, no.
Yes, Tom, it would. The
Well,
correct answer would be yes, it would.
Well, in that case, Tom, if you ever get 30 million, just divvy it up to everybody else.
Correct.
I will
mean-
start a foundation, by the way.
Oh, I would start a foundation also. But $30 million is life-changing money.
It would be.
It is.
Yeah, that's
And-
life-changing.
And Kevin, I looked up sugar in French fries, and there's some debate because these fast food restaurants don't want to release what they have in their thing. But it says when sugar is added to French fries, just a little bit, it enhances the Maillard reaction, which results in a deeper, richer flavor with a crispier exterior.
Oh, okay.
So if you have
fancy.
more crispy fries, good chance that they're putting some sugar in there.
Sugar coated.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
So the last story I did, I waited until the kids were in school to talk about this. But one more story: the state of New Mexico extinguished 2 coal mine fires in Gallup. So the 2 underground coal fires were putting off toxic gases, and city of Gallup says they have been extinguished. By the way, both of those have been smoldering since 2011. 2011.
Wow.
Yeah. So the project is another example of the outstanding work by the state. You know, those all toxin and greenhouse gases, they put an end to that, damn it. By the way, those mines have been they were operational back in the 1800s in New Mexico.
Wow.
Crazy. Wow. And I don't know if I should do this last story. It's actually
Remember, kids in Roswell are not in school today.
Yeah, maybe I'll skip the story. By the way, if you want the story, I'll post it up on my Facebook page. It deals with cancer. Michael Douglas was right. Think about what Michael Douglas said. Tom, you remember what Michael Douglas said? Remember he got throat cancer?
No, I don't. I mean, I do have a thought, but don't sound good.
He blamed it on his wife.
Right.
So there is more to that story. I'm going to repost this in a second.
For throat cancer?
Throat
blamed
cancer.
it on it.
There's a lot of us that would get throat cancer if that was the cause.
So I'll repost that in a second. All right, text line, then the good news.
All right, so Adam from Artesia is saying, you know what, Tom, you won't even tip the waitress, and you say at $30 million you're going to start a foundation. Now, come on, says Adam from Artesia. I will tip a waitress. You know, I'm starting to tip them a little bit more, like $3 or so.
Look, there's a percentage, Tom. It's not a dollar amount.
Yeah, but whatever I got in my pocket, that's all I'm going to tip.
So you don't care what kind of service you get?
No, but I'll put it on my debit card if it's a good service.
Well, that's not in your wallet.
Yeah, but whatever I got left in my wallet, I'll leave it there on the table.
How much do you normally carry in your wallet?
Nothing.
Right.
And the kids are out of school in Roswell, so B said that it is right.
Yeah, I'm going to skip it. I'm posting it up on Being the Breakfast Club.
Hey, by the way, now, you know me, I give good directions, but I don't know how to give directions on this one.
Yeah, go down to Kentucky Fried Chicken, take a left. Then right there, that Mexican joint, I don't remember the name of it. It's Rancho something. You take a right there.
Well, this is Texas asking, how can you get from Artesia from the Lovington Highway, or is it flooded? So I don't think the Lovington Highway is flooded.
Well, if you're following Tom's direction on that highway, you're going to have to stop at the rest area and take a nap before you do anything else.
Yeah. But so far, I don't think we have no flooding on the Lovington Highway, so you can't get in from there.
We haven't heard.
But you can go through Maljamar. That'll take you straight into Artesia, or go to Carlsbad and then to Artesia.
Unless it's flooding.
Yeah.
I mean, the river does run through there.
We'll try to get more on that, but we don't really know. So
remember, everything downstream from Roswell is going to get that water.
Going to get there sometime.
Big John, don't be lying to Tom. Big John said, Tom, all women love a cheapskate. I don't know if he's being sarcastic with you or not, but do not take that advice. Do you understand?
I'll get a bucket of chicken.
Yes.
Any tip is better than nothing, says Mario B. While I will agree with that, I will say that a lot of times when you get good service, pay for it. Show them that you appreciated the good service.
Well, because eventually nobody will want that job if they can't make money doing it.
Yeah.
But if Trump wins, they won't attack the taxes.
That doesn't matter if they won't. So you'll tip less then.
You still have to tip.
Saying.
Yeah.
You're justifying it by saying, well, they're not going to pay tax on
You're
the
supposed
tip,
to tip at least 15%.
Yeah, but if you tip them, they're going to tax you anyway. So why take that money away?
Hold on, Will wants to come in here. Go ahead, Will.
Do what?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, guys. My dang Bluetooth keeps going. Hey, I was just going to say the road through Maljamar 82 is fine. There's no flooding on the road itself. You don't have any problems until you get 285 to Roswell, and then you have to divert to Hagerman and do Highway 2.
Okay, so that's what we know so far. Then
that's what we know, because that's the way you went this morning, right?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I could, and I tried a couple of different routes, trying to see if there was any other way around, and there was not. So the only way to get from Eddy County,
Tatum to Roswell.
I think you can go 380. I haven't heard anything about 380 being closed and from anybody. So I'm thinking 380 is probably okay, but I know if you're going the other way, then you cannot. But I'm already up in the valley and towards Ruidoso, so I'm on the other side and going up.
Yeah, I think you can go Tatum to Ruidoso, and the only problem is getting right there on Main Street. That's very close to where all that water was. But you did. Well, I'm sure there's a way to get around.
Well, and I will say this: even in Artesia, there was a lot of standing water on the sides of the road. I mean, it looked like you were driving through a lake at some points. Wow. So because there was so much water, and it just, they wasn't on the roadway, but on the sides of the road, yeah, it was still pretty significant even in Artesia.
Crazy. Thank you, Will Rooney, for the traffic update.
Careful.
Good news this morning being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington. He's your Farmers Insurance agent. Call him 575-396-0513. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance. Call Herschel Rustin Hayes today. He's your proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
So teen smoking just hit an all-time low with a new report from the CDC. They found the number of middle school and high school kids who are using tobacco has dropped 20% in the last year. And we were just asking about that. Now, that does include cigarettes, chewing tobacco, and vaping.
Wow.
Yeah. And a 17-year-old kid in Hawaii lost his paddle while kayaking near Honolulu last Wednesday, and he drifted out to sea. But an off-duty lifeguard who happened to know his family went searching and eventually rescued him. And he searched in a zigzag pattern for about 100 miles. And finally, a woman in upstate New York found a new kidney at a bar. Kate Marsh had been on dialysis for years when she walked into a place called Tavern on the Mall to grab some takeout food. The owner asked everyone at the bar what their blood type was, and a local teacher turned out to be a match. The surgery happened in May, and they've both made a full recovery. The town is Forestville, New York, only has about 500 people in it, but they have never met before.
Aww.
And Kevin, that is your good news of the day.
Being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes. All right, that story I was talking about on B on the Breakfast Club on Facebook, it is the first story. Yeah, you can go check that out and beware. If you don't want to know.
Not going to change me.
So, all right, we're out of here. We got to get Tradio on the air. News this morning being brought to you by Roach Air Conditioning and Heating, your choice for your next HVAC job. They've got the experience to take care of you. If you got air conditioning or heating needs, there is one company to call, Roach Air Conditioning and Heating. 631-1999. Call Enrique today. If you're having issues, heater, air conditioner, this time of the year, you might need both during the same day. Yeah, 24-hour period, heater in the at night, air conditioned during the day. 575-631-1999. Call Roach Air Conditioning and Heating today. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow for the Wednesday edition.